No. It was me all along.
Sneaky.
Welcome, everybody, to Maxed and Doubled. Episode 8, I believe. That's what I wrote.
That's the maths.
Yeah, it is.
And the camera's
Checks out.
way off. Someone's knocked that.
Pretty sure three people knocked it at different times.
Me! Everyone got to see the katana that's in the corner.
How dare they?
Hey, we're streaming. Cool.
Secret. I almost said eggplants. That's not correct.
Secret
I meant
eggplants.
Easter eggs.
What have you got on your mind, you filthy
What
emoji
kind
hole?
of-
we were talking about Spelunky
What kind of
earlier,
horrible
so-
Easter did you have as a child?
Easter
Really
eggplants.
bad Easters, clearly.
Just painted eggplants.
Oh no.
All the other kids got broccoli and I was stuck with eggplant.
Hornsby's weird,
Well, this is
dude.
a weird time to put up.
I just want to point out that
This.
maybe that's why Oscar's so skinny.
I mean, the
Really
height kind of
It's
adds to
supposed
it.
to make you grow big and strong. That's why I ate it.
No, but he drank too much milk. So he grew.
I feel like eggplant would surely have the same effect. Like,
I just thought it was because of the rack that he slept in. Just
Along with the eggplant, that actually makes sense, yeah. Without the eggplant,
I always
I'll think
pictured
you're
him
bonkers.
lying on a nail bed.
So, what are we
Hanging
doing?
from
So leave
Feeling like
your
a bat.
theories about Oscar's sleeping situation in the comments down below on YouTube.
Yeah, or in the chat over wherever it is, over there, somewhere.
If you're watching it in portrait mode on
On-
your
on-
phone,
yeah, it's
down
also
there.
down.
in the chat, that way.
What, at Oscar's head?
Down the road.
That's where you just pointed on stream. Directly at Oscar's head. Oh, that's
No.
weird.
If he pointed to his camera,
Oh, this is a great start. Are we live?
I love how
Oh,
Oscar's
shit.
looking. He's just sitting there waiting for us to finish our shenanigans.
Yeah.
Your
You're waiting a
shenanigans
long
will never
time.
end. They will never end. Anyway, so
As it ends.
I don't think we have any announcements, so we'll just get right on into it. Previously, on Maxed and Doubled, the party having set out to the east towards Town to search for a cure for Sulphur's affliction, apparently wrought upon her by none other than Pestilence, the horseman who rode through Chimeria with with Sariel and Sulphur in pursuit in our first session. You all had found a note from Sariel's old mentor Fenrir, leading you towards Town to a friend he had there who could possibly cure Sulphur, named Korma.
We got to
upon-
see him a hell of a lot more than she should have.
You did, yep. Oh, look, lighting.
Lighting, yes.
So prepared. We understand.
Oh, this is probably the least prepared we've been.
We had an
Funny
hour!
too, because we had an entire hour.
An hour.
Please don't do that. Oh my lord.
I'm sorry. I'm just very boisterous.
Upon arriving in Town, speaking with Korma, you all realized that you needed to collect some ingredients for her to complete her remedy. Silkus caught a man flu and stayed in bed for a couple days while
It hits hard against high elves, okay?
certainly does. While the rest of the party made their way out to the east into the cliffs running along the base of the Dalen Range Major to collect the Sanomyzerium herb, which is the main ingredient to the remedy. Upon returning that, Sulphur was cured with the remedy. Everyone leveled up
Woo!
to level 3.
Sweet.
And the next morning, Garland, the man who Jong had spoken to collect the information on Korma initially, burst into the full tankard tavern, shouting about a rider who'd just come through from a hunting party based out of Arkenhau, who just seemingly encountered Pestilence. You all chose to ride out with this person, Leah, as you later found out, and are now just over a day's travel away from where her hunting party holed up and where she is leading you. So, upon waking up this morning, everyone make sure you've had a long rest if you haven't done that already. Upon waking up, you look ahead of you and you see you're in the middle of the cliffs at this point. You've just climbed up. You've just come to the first line of cliffs, and this is where Leah was pointing you in that she had a path straight up through these cliffs so that you could reach the location just after your next sleep. It's going to be a treacherous path looking up ahead as you see this huge cliff face, and then behind it, there's another one as well. As you look at this, what would you like to do?
Just for a quick backtrack on something. Scrolls.
Yes.
Yes, we did a done good.
Do your thing.
And thank you. I'm not going to be bankrupt like real life.
It's fine, I'll find other ways. Leah will steal from you.
Thank you. Wait.
Let's kill her now. Let's just kill her now and go home.
So, when you say treacherous, is this like treacherous for horses or treacherous for people, or kind of both?
Buenos dos.
Very much so for horses.
The path is
even
a pirate.
Less so for people, but very much so for horses. We may want to leave them behind here.
Okay.
How did you get your horse then?
We came down from the north.
Is this the
Not
faster
the question
way?
I asked.
I rode around. It was the only option I had. I needed to get there quick. Doing so on foot wasn't going to happen.
Shouldn't we go back the way that you came then?
No, it won't work. We need to get up here fast, and we can do that on foot quicker if we leave the horses. I needed to get from the cliffs to Freighter Town quicker, and that was only going to happen if I took a longer way round. With one horse and only one person, it's far
I
easier to do
suppose
that.
we've already made it across the plains, so. Yep.
I just feel bad about leaving these poor defenseless animals out in the middle of nowhere.
If we hide them
They
properly,
put the
they
bag of
can
holding.
survive here. Put them in the bag.
Some poor vault attendant. What the?
I'm sure the
I actually imagined that horse shit would come down through the teleporty thing before the actual horse. They'll be like, why are you putting poo in the bag? And then,
I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean,
How big of a fall is there between like the opening of the bag portal and the floor of the vault?
I don't know. Find out.
You'll find out eventually.
Drop a rock in and wait for the noise.
You'd have to request the noise.
what an odd request.
Hey, can someone down there please send me a noise of a rock hitting the ground?
This is like, yes, I'd like to request this bolt of lightning, which I think you'll find is in the. Do we have a bolt of lightning? We don't have a bolt of lightning on our records. Send them one up anyway. We're here for customer retention.
Right, so
yeah.
Anyway,
suppose
yeah, we will walk
Yeah,
up,
sure.
I guess. But we
Let's-
got to do
let's
something
secure
with
the
the horses
horses.
first.
Okay. I'm sure we can find a spot nearby. The path is just over there, and she points towards a particular section of the cliffs, maybe a couple 100 feet away from you, and starts leading her horse. She just starts walking, leading her horse herself. Doesn't mount, off in the direction of the darkness of the cliffs.
Yeah, I'll follow along.
oh.
Okay.
No, that was your name. Yes. Well,
You go. She is going to try and find a decent spot to hide the horses.
Oh dear.
perfect.
Doesn't do a great job. She's walking for a little
Out of the
bit.
front of this
Walks-
path should be fine.
Walks into a pasture. There you go.
Walking for a little bit, and eventually reach the cliffs, and she starts walking alongside just to find any kind of inlet where she might be able to hide them. She doesn't see anything. Eventually just says, my horses will trained, he'll stay. Hopefully with him here, the other two will also be able to just hang around. If we can tie them off if you'd like, if you're not comfortable, but
I think tying them up might be a better idea.
okay.
Yeah.
She takes the reins from the other two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast
Oh.
Speak with Animals on one of our horses.
Okay.
It's got some horse bind.
What would you like to say?
Please stay.
The horse gives like its classic head shake, almost suggesting a nod in the process, and seems to acknowledge what you say.
If you're in danger, go back to town, but please stay otherwise.
Gives a shake of the mane and kind of nudges you with the front of its nose, and then
Well, I'm okay with going.
Okay then.
Sounds right to me.
She just spoke to a horse. Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean,
You've
I
seen
mean,
me speak
magic.
to Sulfur.
I've seen that spell before.
yeah, I just
Sulfur
assumed
seems to-
Sulfur was especially smart.
Yeah. Sulfur seems to
I
have
assume
a
so.
rather spectacular understanding of the common language.
To be fair, she's been brought up with at least one common speaking person her whole life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was dubious that the horse would have that. Ah well. I'm magic,
How do you know
I'm sure.
that I wasn't speaking horse?
That's what I just said you were doing.
Because we can't heard you speak.
oh, other person. So
Abdul,
you leave the
Okay,
horses
yeah.
behind, and she leads you over to a spot where you can see the cliffside itself slants back a little on a slightly shallower angle, and then there is a cut down the middle. It looks like you're going to have to do some climbing, but it looks relatively well traced. It looks like maybe
Okay.
at least a couple hunting parties every couple of weeks come through here.
Yeah.
That kind of level of traffic. It looks worn to a degree, and you can certainly see it's traversable as
Okay.
opposed to the rest of the cliffs that certainly don't. Leah takes point and leads the way.
Yeah.
She starts pulling herself up some of these spots, and then she'll walk for a bit. As it gets steeper, she'll start kind of clambering up the side, and then she'll grab onto a stone, haul herself up again, and keep going.
Okay.
Who's following in what order?
I'm so fucking annoyed.
I think
I'm going last.
I'm so fucking annoyed.
yeah,
Because I've gotta
I
help
was
her walk.
tossing up between Featherfall and
I'll go next.
Spider Clan. I fucking chose Featherfall.
That's not
that's
a bad
fine.
choice
That's
for this
fine.
situation
Oh,
either.
That's good. It's not gonna get me up.
I will.
I mean, it's going to stop you from
follow
dying if you
whoever's
fall
in
off.
second.
I'll fall off like a feet away. I'm
Okay,
not
so
that
who's
strong.
going second?
I'll go second.
Okay. Fourth?
Sure, I'll go fourth. Yeah, okay.
So you're going
So
at the
this
rear?
goes.
I'm gonna go dead last.
Okay.
Because I've got to help a wolf up this.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Can't spider climb on the wolf.
So,
Spider.
John?
Yeah.
Spider.
go ahead and roll athletics for me.
7.
Oh.
7. Oof. It's not particularly hard. You are able to climb up it. It's just slow. for
Yeah.
you. The rest of you kind of give John a bit of a leave before you start going, just in case he falls. And then you start moving. Roll. How are you trying to climb this?
With a grace, skill, and acrobatics.
Roll acrobatics for me.
I'm assuming that means his acrobatics is kind of high.
Yeah.
12.
12. You start to go. You catch up a little bit to John, but he's making a steady pace. And you, every now and again, just stop for a second to catch your breath on one of the kind of embedded rocks that gives you a bit of a
I
foothold.
feel like I should have a tattoo that lets me teleport somewhere.
You start to get into a rhythm as well behind John.
Probably
Silkus.
on my back, that's why I don't
I would like to make one roll beforehand.
What would you like to do?
Deception. To convince myself that I can do it.
Roll deception and then roll insight.
That will bounce off my arm, but okay. That is 11.
Now insight.
Now roll insight.
That's 10.
You are fully convinced that you
Alright.
can do this.
Alright. Can do it.
Not one. Not one. Not one.
Wow, you can't roll very well, can you?
Wow, that's offensive. And what am I rolling? Acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics.
Okay, well that's better. Yeah, 7.
Can we just blame his bad rolls on the fact that he's using someone else's dice?
No, it's all on him.
No, because Anna lives
Everything,
here.
he's like the Will Wheaton of our group, I think.
Like you can, I roll really well. I just can't aim.
Anna's going to have to
Shit.
burn those dice.
I roll natural 20s all the time. How
So
dare
it's
It's
you?
not here.
You watch Archibald go up
We'll
behind.
prove it wrong.
You watch Archibald go up behind John, and you psych yourself up for a bit, give him a bit of a lead, and then
I'm gonna
you
go for a
yourself.
run up.
You get a run up, and you go.
No, it's
Okay, slipping, and then you manage to grab onto some. You just dig your hand into the dirt.
picture
and-
it's kinda
and
like
slide
this.
down a bit, and then you
I
go,
gotta
okay.
run and I jump. And I just try.
But you do make steady pace as well,
Okay.
at making your way up here. Leah going first has helped all of you kind of find
Yeah.
a path. It's not that hard to move, but it is slow.
How high is this?
The cliffs themselves are probably a couple 100 feet high.
So is
At
it
your-
like
Oh,
very steep,
boy.
like packed earth with rocks embedded in it? Or like,
The most of the cliff faces are rock, straight
Yeah.
rock. But this particular path, it's kind of like almost like a cave, almost like a mudslide essentially. So there's some rocks embedded in it,
Yeah.
but for the most part it's dirt.
okay.
Sariel and Sulfur.
Okay, have you guys seen A Dog's Purpose? Or at least the
No, I
trailer for A Dog's
refuse to.
Purpose?
No.
Okay, so he teaches his dog to do like this running up thing, and he like bends on an angle, like that.
Are you gonna
And his
piggyback
dog
sulfur?
runs and jumps off.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Roll acrobatics with advantage for Sulfur.
What's the DC for jumping several hundred feet vertically?
Hang on, I have to fill up per page. I forgot.
One above whatever you roll.
What is that? You said? Did you say acrobatics?
Or athletics with advantage.
Don't know acrobatics. Are you kidding me? 16.
16.
There you go.
Okay. Sulfur makes the first kind of large jump, and she gets onto a relatively flat area and starts to scramble up. Her claws help her moving up the steep dirt. And while there are rocks in her way that most of the others are using to climb, she's avoiding them and just keeping in the soft dirt as she's scrabbling up the side of the hill. Roll for yourself now as well. Acrobatics.
17.
17.
Sure.
Okay.
17.
You have no trouble with this, Ariel. You catch up to Sulfur and Silkus quite quickly, and you just
Oh, okay.
hold the rear and continue moving up.
I was-
Occasionally catching Silkus as he slips
I assume that
and giving him a bit of a push.
you just hear me like you do hear me mumbling a little bit, kind of like trying to keep myself psyched a little bit. So I'm just saying like, okay, you got this, you got this. Never fear the fall, never fear the fall. You got this. Literally, never fear the fall. You got this, and just constantly trying to psych himself up.
Just don't look down, don't look down, don't look down. Oh, you fuck.
Out of all of us, you're the only one who doesn't have, who like really has no reason to fear dying if you slip, and yet.
And
Yeah.
yet here we are.
Yeah. So
He
good.
doesn't know he has
I love
feather
it.
fall yet.
Yeah,
it takes you about
hasn't downloaded.
He thought he took spider climb.
It takes
It
you a
takes,
little
like,
while, but you
few hours
eventually
waiting
make it
for
to the top of this plateau area. You are now above the point, or you're on the top of the cliffs, the same cliff line that the three of you delved into to get the Santalmazerium, which
Yeah.
is somewhere below you now. You know, probably a little bit to your south, based
Yeah.
on where you were previously.
That's not how compasses work.
And you can see over a large area of Dalandar. You can see all the way up to Freda Town, and then all the way down and around. You can even see the edge of the Aston Vale Swamp down to your southwest. And for the most part, it's just flat plains over this area. Looking around, you everyone roll perception checks for me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Perception.
19.
Nice,
16.
nice.
That's not bad.
That wasn't a roll.
Of the-
I've seen you just drop things, don't you start? 16.
Never my dice, though.
Same here. Technically.
You three, glancing around the area, you can see every now and again the scattered areas where there are ruins that you previously encountered. But seeing them from up here, you can see there are quite a few of them, especially around that large flat plains area, where there are some out sort of close to Freda Town where it's a little more hilly. You can see some there, but the main concentration of them is around that flat plains area that's all around to your south. So, making your way forward.
So
you-
we are. Sorry. So we are.
We are.
We are. Mid about halfway. You were saying.
You're now at the top of
Oh,
that
at the
first
top.
set of cliffs.
First set
So
of
there are two kind of layers. As you get closer to the Dalen Range itself, there's one cliff, another set of cliffs, and then on top of that is you have the mountains rising up out of the ground.
So I think we could just make camp right now and don't worry about the rest. I'm good with that.
You look
good with
ahead.
that? I'm good with that.
It's like 11 a.m. Come on.
Yeah, you look ahead, and
It's
the
just
next set of
height
cliffs
changes
is
the
probably
look of
still
everything.
quite a ways away. You're going to climb those towards the end of your afternoon, based on your estimation.
Yeah.
And it is also shorter. You can see that there's less to climb. Doesn't look as steep in some places. Looks a little bit easier to traverse than the one you've just climbed. So you look up ahead. For the most part, this plateau that you're on is still grassy and still kind of the plains area, but you've got that view behind you and full visibility ahead. So you start to move forward, and as you go, I would like... What's the marching order? Leah's
Probably
taking
same
one.
as the climbing order.
Same
yeah.
as the cliff? Okay. Leah's going to make a perception check. I would like...
I'm actively on the lookout for giant tortoises.
Sariel, I would like you to make a perception check as well.
You
Good
got
one,
it. Oh. Apparently I'm doing a Josh and throwing my dice off the... Perception?
Yep.
Perception?
14.
14. Now, the rest of you moving along the middle of the group, is there anything you'd like to do to help with moving this way? Is there anything you'd like to offer? You know, you could be collecting stuff, you could be whatever you'd like to be doing.
So what's the kind of terrain again?
It's mostly just flat. There is a slight incline as you're going, but it's just the same kind of flat plains, long grass as down below. You can see looking up to your left, which is to the north. Eventually it flattens out. You can see where the cliff, you can see the cliff line curve around a little bit and then eventually stop where the two, and you know, this land comes up and this land goes down, eventually meeting and flattening out up to the north.
I'm going to use Mage Hand to flatten some of the longer grass ahead to make
Okay.
it easier
They're
to
like-
train across.
Good, that's actually a really good idea. Okay. Anything else?
Just pats.
People like
I am keeping an eye out for any anything living in the long grass.
okay, so you're keeping an eye on the kind of the
That
Right,
dickhead
just
professor from my hometown warned me about back then.
yeah. So you're keeping an eye on the kind of shorter area where people are looking out. You're looking in. Okay. Roll a perception check for me.
Wouldn't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to get
Only
bitten in
Glenn
the
would
ankle
look
by a
in.
Mewtwo.
This is terrible because
13.
he said he's looking for things that are living in the grass, and all I'm seeing is this mage chain like squishing mice and like.
And then suddenly we're fighting a Cubone. 13.
Yeah. 13. Okay. So as you push forward over the rest of this day, Archibald, you're looking around your general vicinity, keeping an eye out on the smaller fauna that might be running around. Leah's moving up ahead. She's
I'm
mostly
also
focused
looking
on
for monsters.
yeah. She's mostly focused on just getting the direction right, making sure that you are making a beeline directly for her party. And Sariel, you're in the rear of the party, keeping an eye on what's happening behind you, making sure nothing sneaks up. Archibald, throughout the course of the day, you do have one moment where you see a flock of birds fly up out of the grass, and then you see a small grey shape, and then you see it disappear again. It's about it's still a couple hundred feet away.
Amphibian shitheads.
I am so curious at this point. I just want to hit it with a magic missile.
It's very far away, and by the time you actually react to seeing it, you aren't able to prepare anything. But it is a couple hundred feet away. You see it. You see basically the mass of the flock of birds fly up, and then you see it.
I want to know what
I'm
that
getting
thing
really
is.
pissed off at this creature.
Can I? Do I? Can I have some? Do I have some idea of what this is?
Roll a history check.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, Leah.
Do you know what I forget? Did you forget what animals existed as well? Like,
know.
If I say dolphin, do you know what that
16.
is?
Yes,
16.
I know what a dolphin is. They've got very graceful legs. Thank you very much.
16.
Uh,
You're pretty certain that you have no, even prior to losing your memory, no knowledge of what this is.
Oh,
It's such a weird shape. It's the movement, the shape, the size. It all just doesn't fit into anything you would ever have heard of before.
It's like a fat, hoppy aardvark.
Land sharks.
Hey Leah, you wouldn't by any chance catch what that amphibian leaping thing in the distance?
Is it a frog?
I don't know, it jumped like one.
I haven't seen anything.
Not a frog. I know what they are, and that did not have 6 legs.
Would you have you heard of anything like that down this way?
Not
Have
in
you
these
seen anything?
plains. No, they generally stick to the lower lands like the swamps or the even just along the rivers, but not out this far.
Okay, what's grey and leapy?
Can I see if it's perhaps following us?
I'll get you to over the next couple of hours roll a perception check for me. So you can do that now.
Next couple of hours in the session, not right now.
15. It says perception.
Yep.
Which I believe is a 16 then. Plus a plus 1. Yep. And 8.
8. The couple hours later, as you're moving forward, you see another roving band of aurochs moving. And Silkus, you notice this. So we're still a couple hundred feet away. You're keeping a wide berth from anything that could either hurt you or alert something bigger to the fact that you're there. Roving herd of aurochs, as Leah points out, is something that you don't want to go near. They're either going to attack or they're going to bring wyverns down as they come to hunt. And you see this band of aurochs as you move past, and you watch them for a bit, and you see one of them spook, and the whole herd runs. They're too far away for you to hear, but you see one of them spook, and you see them, the whole herd now running off in a different direction.
Right.
Then, half an hour or so later, you briefly, for a second, see some of the grass behind you move, and Sariel, you also notice this. You see just kind of this little, and then it gets too far away for you to see behind the other long grass.
Okay, interesting. I think
Can I
there might be
shoot
a-
at it?
Roll attack
Might be a chance that we
with
might be
disadvantage
followed.
because you can't see it.
I'm just gonna shoot at the moving grass.
That's fine. Roll with disadvantage.
I think it might be being followed.
I don't think it's sentient enough to want anything other than the
16.
70 ration
16.
packs that you stole.
You send an arrow off in that direction, Sariel, really
Okay,
quickly.
good money
And
for
Silkus,
those.
as you watch the grass move, you see Sariel's arrow loose from her bow, and it flies into the grass. You don't hear anything or see anything. Grass was already no longer moving by the time she got the arrow out. So you're not sure if you hit anything, Sariel, but it's possible you did. You didn't hear a screech, but you don't know if this thing makes noise.
I really want to get Sulfur to fetch my arrow, but at the same time,
That's a weird thing to do
That
for
could be
get your sister
bad.
to do.
Suddenly the grass explodes.
I think John just hasn't realised that this is a tense situation. He's just like, oh, this is a nice walk. It's like very scenic. I like it. You're all like,
Sariel's bow
it's like,
behind
are
you.
we being followed? It's just like, ah, yes, I'll like flatten the ground in front. Watch out for monsters. What a lovely walk. I love not having a hangover every day.
Leah does
Come
turn
on,
to you
buddy.
at one
Come on,
point
come
during
on.
the day, and she kind of says, "This is really helping. Usually it's much harder to move through these areas, but with the grass being flattened in front, well, we can move a lot faster this way. We might even make it there before night."
Not a problem. That's what I'm here for.
So,
sorry, the little jacket flick made him look really cocky. Perfect.
you
Silkus
continue
did do
moving.
that.
You gradually get closer and closer to the cliffs ahead of you, and they start to loom over you. The sun at this point is behind you. High up in the sky, it's still around mid-afternoon at the latest, and you get into the kind of at the foot of the cliffs, and Leah starts to divert you a little bit further south as you make your way directly towards them. Who's second? It was you, right?
Yeah.
Make a perception check for me.
17.
17. As she goes, you can actually see she's pointing the party towards something where she's spotted what looks like a much easier way to traverse up these cliffs here as well. They seem to dip down on both sides for a second, and there's a little wider area coming down. Almost, yeah, pretty much. And she's diverted you towards that now, and you start heading towards it. She kind of turns and addresses all of you and says, "We've made very good time. We would have only just gotten here at the when it was getting dark, but thanks to all of your help, we've made very, very good time today, and I thank you for that."
Not a problem.
You're welcome.
Really, she gives me too little credit, but I'll take what I get.
You reach this spot, and she leads you up it. It's not too steep, so you are able to walk up it relatively easy. It's a bit of a strain. It gets your heartbeat going, but you don't have to try too hard to climb or anything like that. It's a pretty wide area, lots of places, long grass even to hold on to, where it does get a little bit steeper.
Yeah.
And eventually you reach the top of this next set of cliffs, which is about 150 feet up. You get there and you kind of look around, and there is the Daling Range ahead of you, which is maybe a couple miles ahead, and you can see in the shadows a large area where there could be caves, there could be there are a lot of overhangs, dark areas all up ahead. Even the sun coming in from this angle isn't quite catching it to where you can see into these areas.
Yeah.
And Leah kind of points out and says, somewhere in that area right there where we left our party, they may have moved slightly since, but we hold up there and we thought we were pretty safe.
At this point, do I trust her?
Roll an insight check.
Hell yeah. Yes.
She seems genuine.
Okay.
She seems genuine.
Well, we'd better get going then.
So it's getting towards the end of the day, and eventually you do come up to a particular spot where a little bit of an indented area in the mountain range, where it looks like it slopes up pretty steeply behind it, but the actual walls around it make it pretty concealed. And as you head in there, you see a number of people sitting there up against the walls, nursing, some people nursing others, and this seems to be Leah's hunting party. A couple of them look up and see Leah and immediately nod a greeting and then acknowledge the fact that you're there. And one of them comes up. You can see he's an orc male. He wears full plate armor, and he's got a variety of weapons at hand, including a long halberd that you see he put down on the floor to come and greet you. He's got a longbow slung over his back and a longsword in a scabbard on his hip, and a crossbow also on his hip. He comes up to you and says, "Greetings, Leah. I see you brought help. What can you offer us?"
We have possibly
Well,
a cure for what ails you.
how
Cure.
many ill do you have?
We have three ill. One of them's also injured, but the other three, the three are all afflicted with whatever it was.
Well, the affliction's not going to go. It's not going to get worse, but it's not going to get better until we treat it. However, I would like to look at your injured person.
Sure, are you a medical person?
I'm trained.
You can have a look. You're probably better than any of us. He's actually our medic, so...
Oh.
So you head on
The way?
over. You can see there is a half-elf sitting up against a wall.
Of course, it's a half elf.
Who's got a broken leg, and as you approach the leg, it looks smashed, broken in multiple places, very bad injury. It's already being attended to. It looks like he's probably attended to himself, but he's not able to move around or give proper treatment to it at the moment. And as you approach, you can see it's in need of some medical attention. Probably supplies that they don't have. Things like poultices, things to ease the pain is the main thing
I
that you
have
see.
some of
He's
that.
obviously in a lot of pain, and they're out of supplies. So
I
approach.
believe I have the remedy on me. I'm just double checking.
Well, I have
some of
two
the left
poultices to help with pain and discomfort left from when I made them for sulfur.
Okay.
And I took.
So I will apply that to his leg with a fresh set of bandages and stuff.
Okay. He looks up and acknowledges you as you move towards him, and kind of is a little bit wary as you kneel down, but with a bit of a reassurance, he allows you to unwrap the leg, inspect the wound, and start administering treatment. Looks at you and kind of says, "Thank you, it's very appreciated. We are out of supplies, so I was unable to tend to myself, and it's just lucky that no one else got hurt after I did."
As she's saying to the guy, I'm going around cleaning all their bandages and medical supplies that are
Okay.
soiled.
I'm going to
So you're giving them back some supplies.
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
prestidigitation.
did the half orc? Did he mention who is sick besides the injured guy?
So there are only 4. So there's the half orc who doesn't look sick,
Yeah.
and then there are
There's the
3
other-
others
okay,
sitting
yeah.
around in the clearing.
I'm going
plus
to
Leah. So
take out
How
Korma's
does mending
remedy,
work?
okay.
and I'm
Mending?
going to start
Mending fixes a
ministering.
broken object.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a
I'm going to start
broken leg.
ministering the cure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
like that you knew where I was going with it, though.
before you are able to get anywhere, the half orc kind of stops you for a second, but Leah turns to him and said, "It's okay. They know what they're doing."
I take out the remedy. It's like, I can help you. This is what I'm here for.
Go ahead. And then you hear Leah and the half orc converse for a second. You hear her mention his name, which is Olgan,
Olgan.
Ulgan.
Gan.
And you move forward to the other 3. And you approach and you see, obviously, the half-elf who is not only got the broken leg but is also sick, that Sariel's currently administering aid to. You see another half-orc lying there, not in good condition. You can see the pustules, same things that you were used to seeing on Sulfur. And she's obviously very sick, but isn't showing it herself, just physically showing it. And then you see a human female in full plate armor with a spear at her side who's also sick.
Take out the remedy. I'll go to the half orc first.
Okay.
It's like, please, this is gonna take a little bit to actually take effect, but you should be feeling right as rain overnight.
Overnight.
Tomorrow morning.
Okay.
That's what technically it is, yes. By tomorrow morning, you should be feeling a lot better. And I'll take out.
Thank you.
Well, so it was the remedy is.
Measure out a portion from
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
I start
It's like
doing,
it was
I
like
take
a
out.
drop, wasn't
like-
it? Wasn't it?
I
Wasn't
take
a lot.
out a
Wasn't
few
lot,
of
yeah.
my little alchemic equipment, and I
like
start.
cap full.
Yeah,
and I
essentially.
start doing quick measurements, and I give to drink.
Okay. Thank you. And she takes the remedy.
Not a problem.
Move on.
Yes.
Okay. So there's the human female or the half elf that Sariel's currently with.
I'm gonna go to the human first, then I'll go to the half elf.
She sees you coming and kind of sees that you've given aid to her other party member and kind of accepts it gladly and thank you. Drinks that.
Excellent. Like I said to your friend, in the morning you'll be feeling right as rain.
Thank you.
And I'll move over to the half elf.
So, Sariel, you complete the treatment of the wound, rebandage it, and then Silkus moves over, measures out some of the remedy and hands it over. You can mark off 3 uses of that, by the way, whoever's got it, whoever had it.
Yep.
Good.
Which would leave us with, I think, 16, right?
Yes.
'Cause
I didn't have
Yes,
the numbers of
16.
them. Yeah.
there were 20. We used 1 on sulfur, 3 now.
The half elf also accepts that, takes it, and kind of looks to you and says, "What is this?"
Would you rather do you really want to know about it? This probably make it a little bit easy if you don't know.
I mean, it's
That's reassuring, I can tell you that.
It's
He doesn't know. He didn't go get most of the ingredients.
a remedy from
I do know.
herbalist in
I
the
studied it.
village.
Which village? Where do you come from? Leah, where did you come from? Leah kind of turns and says, they're from Freda Town. Someone in the village was able to make some remedy to this.
If you
I don't
really
know
do
what
need
caused
to know, I can easily explain it to you.
Oh,
The
look, I
herbalist
don't
is a
need
rather
it.
private person. We only managed to get this because of the connection I have.
Sounds pretty typical of a herbalist, to be honest.
Yes.
So I offer it.
Drinks it, then hands the implement back, and
Yep.
kind of also takes your hand. He props himself up on one leg, up against the wall. He's like leaning back against the wall,
Be careful of that.
and then looks you dead in the eyes, gives you a handshake, and he says, "Erene, my name's Erene. Nice
So-
to meet you."
Silkless, lovely to meet you. Please, you can let go of the hand.
Let's go. Gestures to his two other sick party members and says, this here is Kutal, and over there is Myra. Myra being the human, Kutal being the half-orc.
What was the name of the human?
Myra.
Oh,
M-Y-R-A.
Myra. Okay.
Myra.
Myra. Not Myra. You don't have to be.
Bella?
You don't have to
Not
trick
Myra.
out.
What was the spelling?
M-Y-R-A.
Right.
Right.
And what was the The
Kutal. C-U-T-Y-L is the half-orc female. You can see she's wearing kind of light leathery gear with some hides as well. They all seem to be in the same kind of theme of armor. Some of them are in far heavier armor than others. The half-orc, the sick half-orc, looks like she's probably some sort of a scout, someone who moves fast. And she kind of stands up as well and nods as her name is said.
So what was the elf's name?
Erune. E-R-U-N-E.
These are very easy to spell. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll get the names later. It's fine.
Okay,
Let's continue.
It's fine. You can always come back. Olgan comes over after you've kind of made introductions, and Leah at his side, and kind of says to you all, "Thank you for your aid. It's very much appreciated. I'll warn you that we've been safe here in this particular spot for a couple of nights, but the last two we've been hearing some strange noises.
Howling?
Not howling.
Screaming.
Screeching of some sort. Sounds almost artificial. Like metal on metal.
I think we might have heard something like that on the way here, actually. Sounds familiar.
We're not sure what it is, but we know that all kinds of things roam these mountains. We generally don't come up here, but this was the safest place we could find after we encountered that rider.
Did you ever see any kind of little creature or something kind of always jumping really high and then disappearing?
We see many creatures that can jump.
I'm talking about
I
like
have to describe it.
It's a little grey shithead that you can never see. Likes to chase birds.
It doesn't sound like
Has
anything
quite
we've
a
encountered.
large leap.
Ah, well, I'm sure it's not important. I'll be fine. May as well. Looks like we won't be making it back to our horses tonight unless we try and go down the mountainside in the night, which probably isn't the best idea.
it's probably best if we rest here, then go on in the
If
morning.
that's alright with you guys.
You opposed
would
to
be-
us sharing camp?
To be
Oh
fair,
no, not at all.
that'd be great because if anything, we'll be able to at least see the results in the morning. See if we can help it further if anything happens.
It's appreciated, thank you. And then for a second, the half-orc female, Koodle, who is not injured, had moved over to kind of the front area, the entrance to this little area, and now raises a hand and says, "Hold up. You want to hear that?"
Do I hear anything?
Your perception checks
Yeah.
from
Whoops.
everybody.
As I'm listening, I'm gonna like.
I hear
There's the
nothing.
terrain here is kind of rocky, right?
Yeah, it's rocky.
Okay. As I'm trying to listen out, I'll
1,
like
2, or
slow
3.
down and gently pick up a fist-sized rock.
Okay.
Rocky Four. Adrian's Revenge.
All right, what everyone get? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I don't hear anything, so I'm too distracted because one of the rocks is like a perfect cube, and it's like, neat. Like, oh wait, I was supposed to be listening.
13.
5.
5.
11.
11. And you can also roll for sulfur with advantage because this is with hearing.
She hears it. Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Nice.
My wolf's like, ugh.
You notice as Koodle kind of gives the signal, Sulfur's ears are already pricked and she is already attentive to what is going on. What did you roll, sorry, Sariel? Yourself?
11.
11. The two of you, Sariel and Archibald, you both also hear a very distant screeching sound,
Don't hear anything.
kind of echoing around the
Oh.
mountains,
Well,
coming down.
that's ominous.
And then Olgan kind of turns and says,
So,
well,
seems
as
fine.
if on cue, that's the one. We don't know where it is, but we're hoping whatever it is doesn't come here.
I am very curious, but I also would like to stay alive, so I'm going to stay inside where we are.
I am. Well, Josh is curious. Silk is mildly, but more security.
I know better than to be curious in this kind of situation.
Koodle kind of takes a seat because she's obviously having some trouble remaining standing. She's very weak. No injuries, but the weakness is kind of getting to her, especially over a course of a number of days that she's remained inactive. But she sits now near the entrance and kind of just says, "Look, I'll keep an eye out if you want to set camp."
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds
I'm
like
going
a
to
good
walk
plan.
up to her, grab her by the shoulders, and say, "You need to sleep. Trust me. Go lie down, I'll do it."
She nods and kind of pulls herself back up and walks back over, sits down, and she starts tending to the start of a fire. For the most part, they've got a tent set up, just a small one. It's all already there. It's just a matter of getting the rest kind of started, getting the fire started, starting
I
to
can help with
potentially
that.
cook food. And
I'm going to be very carefully watching because of that sound.
as she's tending to the fire, it just, woof, and just whoa. Did you do that?
I did.
Thank you.
It's
Do
alright.
we have?
It's one of the convenient things about keeping me around.
How's the Umbra here?
You're fine.
Okay.
In fact,
I feel
if you
great.
look up into the mountains, you can actually see one of the towers up on top of one of the
I
mountains.
see.
I've
And
got
it's
4 bars
really
of
good.
reception. Check this out. See? 4 bars.
It's like this 5, but like.
I would love for
defense
that
is
to actually
breaking
be a
a little
tattoo that you have that shows umbral
It's,
string.
it's canon now.
We should
That like definitely sounds like something the like Umbral like technicians would totally have figured out how to do.
It's a possibility,
we
Um,
should get him one when we can.
maybe. The rest of the group, their group, starts kind of milling around, getting ready to sit and eat. Sorry, you're taking over for Koodle. If
Yes.
you roll a perception check for both you and Sulfur with advantage.
That was almost okay. 12 for sulfur,
Yep.
and it's perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
15 for me.
Okay. You stand up near that wall and you're kind of looking around just outside the area. You can see you've got, even from here, a little bit further back, you've still got a great view over the distant parts of Dale and Dar. You can't see immediately down in front of the cliffs because you are a couple miles in, but you still got a pretty good view. And behind you got the mountain range. And as you're standing there looking around, listening out, you hear a and then some scratching seems to be getting closer. Then you hear another set of screeches, metallic screeches that seem to be coming from not far away either, and getting closer. Hear a couple more.
Yeah.
And then, rounding the corner, not too far away, you see some large bird-like thing emerge from behind some
Do I know what it
rocks.
is?
Roll a nature check.
Oh, I'm good at nature. Not that good. 7.
7. You're not sure what it is upon immediate sight, but as it comes around, you see another one following it, and the screeching that's been there also seems to be following it as a large, metallic-looking bull emerges from around the rocks, following these two bird-like creatures who stop, turn, look at it, and then keep moving, and then they'll stop, turn, kind of look at it for a sec, make sure it's moving with them.
These bird things chocobos.
And they are getting gradually closer to your area, to your spot.
So Sariel's the only one who's noticed this at this point.
Yeah, a couple of you are starting
And
to hear the
Dolph was with
screeches,
me?
but they are what Olgan
Yeah.
warned you about. So you're not kind of...
Self was with me? Yes.
Solf is with you, yeah.
Go pee on the fire.
She runs over to it and starts urinating on it. Hard for her since she's a female, but she does.
Oh,
They find a way every time.
Female canines are completely capable of lifting their
Oh,
legs
I know.
to pee. They just don't do it that often.
Oh, I know. It's that movement. It's a bit stiff, but... Don't you start.
I'm just as
dear.
as Sulf is
I'm also
doing this.
gonna
I'm like,
string.
there are easier ways. You could just ask. But I'm saying this to Sulfur.
What are you doing, Sariel?
Mage hand.
Knocking an arrow.
Presto.
Okay.
And
That's all I got.
I'm also going to I would hope that me getting my wolf to pee on the fire is indicating that the fire needs to go out.
Yep.
Therefore,
Yo.
something's coming, and I'm
Right.
hoping Archibald picks it up
Oh yeah, I do.
since he's noticing it.
Olgan and Leah also notice this and notice you knock your arrow, and Olgan immediately reaches for his halberd that he grabs, and he's already in full plate armor.
I presto the fire out.
Leah takes her
Ooh,
bow off her
spell.
back,
Ready
knocks an
any
arrow.
smoke?
I really enjoy it. I'm busy eating.
Yep.
I don't even take notice. I'm just like a bowl. It's kind of like,
I think I'm
The way
like,
the smoke works is kind of, it is grey against the grey rock. You're not too worried about the smoke itself,
I was more
but they're
thinking
not
about the
far away.
smell.
You don't think they'd be able to see it. Smell, different matter, they might.
That's alright. I'm just gonna make it smell like freshly cut grass.
good idea. Good idea.
No,
I
not very.
Better than
love this
smoke
spell.
smoke.
I know like when I'm eating, I do note. I look up, I'm like, and I'll grab my cane and I'll just quickly cast message to Sarel. Say, is everything all right? You can reply to this.
Are they close enough to hear me if I speak?
Yeah.
You can speak. It's a spell. I can't
No.
say
You
message.
if you were to speak, based on the way the sound has been echoing around, you suspect they would be able to hear you. They're only about 60 feet away.
You can whisper. It is part of whisper message, so you can whisper.
Would they hear me if I whispered?
You don't think so?
Probably not.
So
The
I'll
echoes
whisper
don't-
back that there are two weird bird creatures coming. There's a metallic bull following them, and they keep checking that it's still following them, and they're headed this way.
I'll cast again. Do you think they're gonna actually come up to us, or do you think they might be able to get away, go past? Do you think
I
they'll be
guess
able to
we'll
see
find
us?
out.
I'll say that to everyone else quietly.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So-
go out and just.
Gonna
I'm not gonna go all the way up to Sariel because I'm pretty sure I won't be able to find her this late at night.
Yeah.
In the dark.
It's
but
not
I'm
quite
gonna
dark
see-
yet.
Yeah.
It's getting to
Alright.
that point, but the sun
Just
is
gonna
directly
see
across from
if I
you.
can
So.
see what she sees.
So you make your way up to the front. You kind of peer around gradually. The rest of the party, you see the Erene and the two other sick, the Koodle and Mara, both move as far back in this little spot as possible and put themselves in shadow because they obviously don't feel up to fighting.
Yeah.
And
Fair enough.
Leah and Olgan are preparing themselves for a fight, remaining still back a bit. Olgan especially knows that he's not particularly sneaky, but they're already prepping themselves.
Last line of defense for the injured people.
The creatures get closer. Is there anything you're doing as they approach? They don't seem to have
I'll
seen you
ready-
yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
ready
gonna-
a spell.
probably creep up
I'm
to
gonna
where
Kind of hide my eyes as
to where
much as
Archibald
possible.
is.
They're pretty bright.
just to be in a
Okay.
similar kind of prepped position.
I am readying a frostbite. If they get close,
Oh,
they're within 60 feet, aren't they?
They are now within 60 feet of the entrance, yes.
Okay, I'm ready to spell in case they.
You don't
attack.
see them yet,
Yeah,
but yes.
if I see them in the.
I'm going
yeah.
to cast Disguise Self on myself and make myself kind of like share the same texture as the stone that I'm
Okay.
standing next to or
Okay.
It's like
in front of, and I'm just gonna like be there, and I'm casting Presto on all my clothes to change them into that color as well.
Well, Disguise Self would do that anyway, wouldn't it?
It does on
So-
the clothes, yeah.
Does it?
Alter self is one that just does your
No, no.
your person.
Disguise Self just changes your whole appearance,
Whole
including
appearance,
clothes.
yeah. Alter self is
Oh damn!
yeah.
Yeah, right.
But
That's
it's
convenient.
I picture it's like those guys like in the museum trying to steal something, so they blend themselves into the same color of the paintings. And
Yeah.
that kind of,
Yeah.
Basically.
Essentially, yeah.
but I think like you're doing Kronk thing, like
No. I'm much better than Croc.
yeah.
So,
That includes my tattoos.
It says right
Um,
here, better than Kronk.
anyone who is trying to stealth at the moment,
I will try and
roll
stealth.
a stealth check.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll
Do I get a
try.
bonus? Or do I even get a bonus?
With advantage.
Hell yeah.
Do
Oh,
I get
that's
any
good. That's good.
advantages or anything?
Sorry?
Do I get any advantages or
Are
anything?
you a widow?
No, but do you have
No,
any?
we're not in my
You don't have
previous
any.
room.
No, you don't have any advantages from that.
17. Wait, what?
Yep.
Okay.
So I crit failed my stealth.
Oh, okay.
A barbarian, of course.
17.
Of
Yeah.
course. 17.
Also 17.
Yeah.
Ooh. She's
Yeah.
really stealthy.
Mm,
She's a +4 to stealth.
nice.
I
It
think
helps
I'm
to be
just like
dexterous.
So
being like,
She
oh
gets
yeah, I'll be
19.
like creeping and I'll be like out of sight, but the place that I'm standing is like totally inside, so I assumed whatever we were looking at was like further around the corner.
It's
I'm
like you just
okay,
you popped your head like this.
it's like I'll be ready. I'll be ready as soon as it's there.
Okay, so
And then
17,
it's just, like,
17,
over that way.
19.
and I get 21.
It's like you just
And
turn around,
21.
face the wall, thinking you're
That
like,
one.
Yep.
Can't see me. If I can't see you,
21.
you can't see me.
Yeah, well, John rolled that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you just misheard me. I'm like, no.
no, definitely not.
You're not the one that's going to bring down the party today.
Wait, what about
I'm not the one who just got distracted by a cube-shaped rock.
It's
Both-
fascinating though.
both were him.
Okay.
It's like they usually don't form so perfectly into shape.
Sorry, you
Oh, no,
try and
absolutely.
kind of sink down, blend into the shadows behind you as Sulfur does the same. The rest of you attempt to remain as quiet as possible. As these three creatures approach, and you can see them coming around. As they get a bit closer, you've moved back a little bit into the actual room, Sariel, because in the entranceway we were being right next to where they were moving. And you see the rest of you watch as one bird-like creature comes out into view. Doesn't see you yet. Looks back at whatever it's looking at. Another one comes out. You hear the screeching metallic sound getting closer and closer. Then you see two huge forward-facing horns appear, and then a bull-like head moving quite slowly, but moving out in this direction. And then the birds stop looking at it, move forward a little bit. One of them pokes its head around, looks in, passes over the whole area, and then locks onto you. And goes, ah! Ah! And then the two of them
Frost
start moving in.
and Frost.
Go for it. Everyone roll initiative.
Hell yeah.
They have to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I love initiative.
What's
You
this
didn't.
is what?
I did.
Just the one that set the alarm, the one that's just chanted. They have to beat a 13 though.
Bit of 13. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, so we're level 3 and she's not hurt anymore. Can I roll initiative for solve that?
Yes. Yes, you can.
What is her initiative? Is it same as that, like same as mine, or what?
Her
Is it on
dex.
that stat block that you were given, or?
Natural armor, hit points, speed, strength.
It's just a dex
con.
if it's not there.
Just dex?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay, so. Oops.
What was
30 to 20.
Oh, what she roll that on the con?
Oh, dirty 20. For me.
Nice.
That's alright, I'll roll that in a second.
Oh, nice. Initiative, yes.
The con, everyone's initiative. So 30 to 20. We got dirty 20 for Sariel.
Yes.
You got a dirty 20 as well, Josh.
I got no, I
you got
didn't. No,
18.
no. I got an 18.
Okay, so we're gonna have to roll off.
The bird creature
You got
that you
the plus,
targeted rolled a 3 on its con check. Con save.
4 points of frost, otherwise
4
known
points
as
of
cold
frost.
damage.
Okay.
Josh.
Oh, really? I'm gonna say you go first because you got the +2.
Oh, sweet.
I got 0.
I
I'm
appreciate
slow.
that.
All good. Yeah, I'm never gonna beat anyone's initiative check.
Okay. 20 to 15.
18.
18.
And then 18 on me.
Sulfur
So.
got
Funny you
16.
should say that, Josh.
I mean, when we're tied.
Some better roll. Oh, hello.
That was a nice sound on the roll. That's not a nat. Oh, god damn it.
It is a nat 20.
Oh, no.
So,
Can it not though?
So, my
Have you ever
backup
considered
character.
that? Can it not?
It just it chooses not to. And I appreciate that. I respect that.
Yeah, it's You see,
It's
I
also
know what
respect.
we're fighting
I have no idea.
because I've read the monster manual before, and that fascinated me when I saw it. But I
so
don't
you
remember
were
any of its
18.
stats. So
See, I heard a bull and then I heard metal and I thought mechanical bull.
yeah, that's what it is.
Oh,
Yeah, it escaped from
On
a
the
pub
15 to
in
10.
Texas.
escape from yeah. Yeah, so I'm 18 underneath
Damn.
Archibald.
You're also 18.
Yeah, but he'll go first because he's got the high dex.
Okay.
The whole time I was like this. holding
And
it
then
in
that
like this.
leaves just you.
Yep.
Rolling that
2.
one. So for a 2. Okay.
So if like they left, it'd be like
Alright.
just like very spew out.
So, first up, as the one that you send the what was it? What was the spell?
It was just frostbite. So I just go.
Yeah, as you send the frostbite out to it, as you breathe out the frostbite to the one raising the alarm,
It's gonna minus
it kind of freaks out for a second, and the other one takes the initiative and moves in.
Runs.
Um,
He runs with it. Go.
moves straight through the middle, having seen John first, but now Silkus, and it's going to go straight for you. So you don't
It
get an
will
opportunity attack on it, but it
try.
hasn't seen you because
It
it's
will
moving through the middle of this
try.
area.
So what'd you say?
You don't get an opportunity attack on it because you are on either side of the entrance, which is about 15 foot wide. But it moves straight through. It hasn't seen you, or you think it hasn't seen you. and it's moving straight to Silkus. It is going to
It's gonna try.
attack you.
It's gonna try.
That is a
Oh, dude,
17 to hit.
Oh,
it
my
does,
god,
it doesn't
how would
matter.
you overclass that?
I'd like you to roll a Constitution
Oh, wait,
saving
hold
throw
on.
for me, please.
I got leather armor. I've got to implement that. That's 12. So it still
Still.
hits.
12. Roll a con
Plus
save for me,
humiliating.
Silkus.
Oh well, two can play this game apparently.
Fiver.
Well, that's good. Con. My con is a saving throw. Sorry, 17.
17. So you take 3 points of damage, and as it
Damage.
bites you, as this bird creature bites you, you feel some effect coursing through your veins, but you power through it and shrug it off. And that is going to be its turn.
Right, no low saves, guys. No low saves.
Sariel, your turn. You're up.
Okay. Now that one's technically been hurt, right?
No, the other one has, not the one that's charged in. The one that is still
Can
at
I
the
see
front.
that
It's recoiling from Silkus's frostbite.
Can I see it?
Yes, you can.
Can I see the other thing?
The bull creature? Yes, you can see. All 3 of them are within eyesight.
Okay, so first thing I'm doing, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark the bull.
Woo! Okay. Hunter's Mark. Noted.
Hey.
Yeah.
She did before attacking.
Well,
Immediately
I'm
better
not
than
gonna
all the rest
attack
of
that
us.
one.
Oh, wait. No,
But-
wrong one.
I'm not gonna attack that one,
No, this.
but I want to know where it is.
Fair.
I also think that that's gonna do the most damage, therefore I should have extra damage. I'm gonna shoot the one in front of Silkus.
Okay. Roll
Twice,
attack.
if I can manage it.
Roll attacks.
Natural 20.
Very
Hey.
nice. What's the damage on you? And what was the second
What
attack?
is... What?
What was the second attack? What did you roll for the second?
10.
A total of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't hit.
Yeah.
But the first, what's your max damage?
Natural 20. So it is 1d8 plus 3.
So
So
that's
it's 19?
16,
16, 19?
yes. So that's 19 points of damage to that one. As you shoot that one in the back, and it kind of jerks its head around on its longer neck. And you can see up close now that it's moved past you, it is a ragged looking bird. It's about the size of an emu, a
fucking
little bit
cassowary.
smaller. But it is ragged. It is darkly coloured, about probably the same tones and colours as the grey stones around you and the grey rock face around you. And it looks absolutely rabid as it's up in your face, Silkus. Is that your turn, Sarah?
If you'll allow, I'm going to make a very insulting gesture at the bird.
You're going to give it.
Kind
gonna
of
give
like
it the
an
bird?
attempt at a taunt.
Like how insulting? Like, are you giving it the finger or are you mooning it?
I'm
Or
biting my thumb.
Okay.
I bite my thumb at the bird.
Roll a performance check.
Nat 1, you bite your thumb.
Nat 20, the bird's jealous that
I
you
have a
have teeth
0
and
to
goes for you.
perform.
And opposable thumbs.
16.
16. Okay, noted. Archibald.
Hell yes.
Archer Silkabald.
How dare you?
You are able to take your turns in tandem if you would like. Otherwise, Archibald, you go first.
Okay, so where am I?
You are you're a little bit further back in
Yep.
the clearing. It kind of is it's not necessarily a circle, but it widens a little bit as it comes in, and you're up against one of the walls here on same side as Sariel. So they came from let's say they came from looking out of your area. They came from the right. You're up against the left wall.
Okay.
And one of them's run past up to Silkus, and you still do have a line
How
of sight on
much
those.
area are they taking up, roughly?
They're medium sized.
So would
The ball
it
itself
be-
is large, but
Would there be a way to position a 15-foot cube so I wouldn't hit any of my party mates?
What are
or
you
any of the
targeting?
injured people? I want to get all the creatures at once.
Okay, the one you can only get either the 2 or the one next to Silkus.
Okay.
If you
I'd
were to
go
target
for
the one
the
next to Silkus, you'd be hitting party members. But the 2 out there, you could definitely position it.
Is the
15
two
feet.
out there the bull and the?
And the first one that Silkus hit with is Frostbite.
Okay.
It has
The
disadvantage.
way I
Which is
see
now
it
you can
is that,
see it's
Glenn,
got
we're
like
up against the
icicles
doorway.
hanging
Yeah.
from it.
Nice.
Me, you and
nice.
me.
Yep.
The bull and the bird are like practically in front of us, and the other one's gone past us.
Gotcha,
maybe.
gotcha.
So there's like
Alright.
a gap between them.
As the bull and the other bird-like thing is, like lumbering in, this rock's just gonna open its eyes. It's gonna move in front of them. It's gonna be like, "Hi, bitch!" Bang! And I'm
Okay.
casting Thunder Wave.
All right, that's a con save,
Nice.
right?
It is.
Both of
Do
them.
I have
Yeah.
to save? being quite
No.
close to you?
I won't hit you. From the description I was given. Fuck off.
The bird fails.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
The bull that's a 21 on its save.
That just saves.
uh-huh.
Yep.
Nice. That's good.
Oh, that is a
so
good roll. Wow, yeah.
That is 16 damage.
16 damage.
And it's halved for the bull, and then the creature that failed is pushed 10 feet away.
Okay, so it gets pushed further back. It's now out of your line of sight because it's been pushed kind of away. But the bull hasn't moved. It's taken the hit, and it is now glaring in that direction. It doesn't seem to see you yet,
Cool.
but it's now.
And I
glaring at it.
am going to just move back against the wall.
Okay.
And draw my wand.
Okay. Good to know.
All right.
All right.
It's a very nice picture you drew too.
It is actually.
So I take my cane, I open up to show the gem. The gem starts turning into almost like sand, and I grab it, the sand, just a handful of sand, and just. And next thing, the bull and the bird that went further back, as in my knowledge, nowhere near anyone else, they start hearing little crickets as I cast sleep.
Okay. So that's
Level
not a saving
2,
throw, is it?
level
That's... Okay.
Now,
How does
this
that
is
work?
the bitch. No one ever knows.
No, so
I have to roll
You roll
5d8.
yeah.
The total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect. But I'm doing it at level 2, so it's 7d8.
7d8. Okay. Yeah, I know how the damage thing works. So that's
Basically-
I
fine.
never do.
Basically,
It's
the
like-
bird's going to sleep and the bull's not.
We'll see. We'll see.
Sleep's first level, dude.
Yeah, but I'm casting a second.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So 7d8.
That's 6. I just need a.
And there's no saving throw, is there?
No, there's no
You just
saving.
go.
Oh no! Get away!
I can roll one for you, Josh.
Thank you. Oh, that's a nice dice. That's okay.
It's a nice dice.
I got him here. Thank you though. Let's see if I can do well. Oh no, they're so shit.
Hey, mine didn't waste it.
No, yours is good. Yeah, it
You
was.
guys are rolling well tonight.
Oh my goodness, 2. Oh, okay. These 3 go there
That's
because
4.
I don't want to think about them. All right.
That's 10.
That's 10, 17, 25.
Five.
Yeah, so
Okay.
25 points.
No, that's of its remaining health, not its.
Yes.
It's current health.
Not its max.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not as max.
So the bull doesn't even seem to have heard the crickets. It doesn't seem to be affected at all.
Good to know.
But the bird that the icy faced
Yes.
bird with the icicles kind of hanging from its feathers, its ragged feathers. You see as it angrily starts charging back after being hit by Archibald's Thunderwave, just kind of collapse to the ground.
Cool.
not having a good
And
day.
it's gonna stay asleep for. Well, hold on, let's see now. The creature's hit points must equal less. Okay. Stun. Where is it? Creature within 20 feet. Point. Fuck. Where's?
Until
So-
someone wakes it up.
I think it's until it wakes up or the end of the casting time, because it says duration is a minute. So I think it's.
So 1 minute
1
or
minute.
until someone attacks it.
Someone pushed
So
it off the
6
cliff.
turns.
And
10
there's my
turns.
second level. Done. Bonus action.
Yes.
I have no bonus action stuff. So Over to you, Kent.
Okay.
He doesn't understand.
Sulfur is up.
Yeah.
Let's see Let's see what she can do.
She is going to run up to the bird that in front of Silk is.
Okay.
Because my friends threaten me. And she's going to bite it in the foot.
Okay.
Do it.
Give it your attack.
Right. Okay. Oh, wait, she gets pack tactics too, right?
Yes.
She has advantage.
Yes,
Nice.
she does.
Yeah, that's good. Natural 20.
Hey.
You are rolling so well. What's
It
max
was
damage
a
on that attack?
5, so I'm really glad that I got the advantage. So it's 24 to hit. So there you go. I think she bites it.
Yeah.
What's the...
2d4 plus 2, so
8, 10, so
10.
16, 18.
18,
So 18 damage.
and if the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay. Sulfur charges up to the one in front of Silkus, and as you step around it to cast your sleep, you watch as it just
He's coming straight at me.
it gives like this white blur latches on, and the bird goes stumbling sideways. You see it struggle for a second, but then it falls limp. As your 2 natural 20s have absolutely destroyed it, and you have rid that one from the fight.
So she's kind of just doing that, that dog thing when they get something in their mouth and they want to kill it, and then just go.
Yeah,
She's doing that with the bird.
yeah. She's currently doing a death shake on the bird's neck, and its head's just flying around like a rag doll. Is that her turn?
She's gonna put it down, like
trying not
kind
to
of
barf.
presenting it to Silkus, like, you're gonna pet me now, right?
Oh yeah,
She doesn't care that we're still in a fight. She's just like, I killed it.
I'm trying to hold down my lunch.
She just wants some praise, Silkus. Please.
I just want to
You
keep my
can't even
composure.
call her a good girl.
Sorry, it's out of my budget. I can't afford to pad it.
Brings us to Frosty's turn.
problem.
Frosty doesn't get a save, does it?
No.
Doesn't get anything. It's just asleep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just sleep for the remainder of the
Never
time.
mind.
Ah,
It is the bull's turn.
damn.
Time to
You can
dance.
see it sees you, Sariel, Sulfur as she runs across. Doesn't see you, it seems. It kind of scans, and you see it just passes right over you. Sees you,
Yep.
sees Olgan and Leah. And it's going to take a few steps out away from your area, and then it is going to charge in, and it is going for the...
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, because it's running straight through. Sulfur has moved away, so it's coming in from the side that has no one on it at the moment, and it's running straight through to meet. I'm gonna say
Me.
The side that has no one.
Not the guy
Not
with 0.
the wolf with 11 HP. Not the wolf with
I'm
11
Not the
kind of
guy with
confused
10
as to where
AC.
Olgan.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
as
No,
Olgan
we just
has kind of
wasted-
stepped
He's
out with his
expendable.
halberd. The bull charges straight at him, and he is going to have to.
Make a
Man,
dexterity
yes.
saving
Oh, come on, we
throw.
don't know him. We don't know him, Josh.
But we won't get a chance to know him if he's dead.
I genuinely thought this was going to be the worst thing.
It's
Because I think I just remembered one of its attacks.
so
And I
it
will ask you during the
does.
break.
Flashbang.
And it just like hops away.
It does 13 points of damage to him. And then he makes his strength save as it charges towards him and gores him with one of its front horns, or attempts to gauze him. He sees it coming, just drops his halberd, and as it thrusts towards him, grabs its horns and just takes the impact. Still hurts him, but he's not gored, and he stays on his feet as he just takes this bull and
Does it
eventually
look like-
redirects it to the side. And it is now stopped there, and that's its turn.
Does it look like it's shaken him, or like he's kind of like looks like
He
bloody?
looks
Looks quite
seriously terrified.
Okay.
This thing is large. It's bigger than a conventional cow or bull, and it's looks like made of solid metal plates.
Is it?
And it has
medium
charged
or
in. It's considered large.
Okay.
And it is now in the
I
middle.
was kind of picturing a. Have you guys ever seen a Belgian blue?
No.
Belgian blue.
It sounds like a type of cheese,
So-
honestly.
Yes, it does.
No,
That
it's a
one
type
was like
of
a
cow.
jazz song. Or
But
a
they are the
bluesy
most
song.
muscular cows in the world. and
Oh,
they're about
I-
3
oh, I
times
think I
the
know
size
extra large
of
cow
a
thing?
normal bull. They're very, very big.
Yeah,
and
probably
they're
that
so
size.
big and so muscular that they literally can't walk outside or they die from the overheating of their muscles.
Jesus.
That's a.
That's an
Yeah,
efficient
That's
bodily
kind of what I was
function.
picturing. I was picturing like this massive, muscular-looking metal.
Picturing the.
Yeah.
This one
See the
seems
floor.
it's very big, but it's lean.
And now
Um,
I've just got the image of Stewie Griffin's genetically modified
Pig?
pig.
Yeah.
It's like super ripped.
Oink!
Oh my god!
No, this one would be like moo.
Okay, so picture that, but
Yeah.
As-
is lean.
Oh my god.
As this bull runs in and charges, the screeching is horrendous as its plates grind together.
Ooh,
It's
that's
a horrendous sound.
Don't like.
As it moves past you, not past you,
Opportunity.
moves kind of past you within range of you, and you
Oh no.
make perception checks
Cool.
because you're both kind of close to it as it moves
Sure.
in.
17.
9.
You see, as it runs past, you can see there are patches all over its plates of what look like rust.
Oh goody.
So, and that
rust
seems,
monster.
and you can
I'm gonna cast
in the
Presto.
seams, the rust around the seams as well. It
Doing that
sounds like
sheen.
where the screeching is emanating from.
Oh,
That is its
I
turn.
know that you like mending and presto, but please don't.
Have you never heard the story about the lion and the mouse?
Going to soil this
Maybe I can
mechanical bull.
befriend the bull.
Please don't.
Or sacrifice one of
Can
these guys.
you
to the mouse.
imagine the look on the townspeople's
Like,
face when I
Th-
mend
this-
the bull?
It's like this bull is motivated by being rusty, right? So if we make it not rusty,
It's obviously just got
foolproof
like the
plan.
world's worst migraine from its own walking.
Yeah, I
sounds.
would too.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes
that's
sense.
sort of nice.
It's kind of worth
Whose
it
turn
too.
is it?
Yeah, that's a
It
good
was
point.
I mean, I get
Leah's
grumpy
turn.
when I have a
Oh.
migraine. so-
Leah, take your turn.
As Leah watches this bull charge in, she sees her arrows aren't probably going to do much to it, and she steps out to look at the bird that was frozen and then put to sleep. Realizes it's been put to sleep, shrugs, turns back at the bull, and takes 2 shots at it.
Two up its ass.
If she's a ranger and it's injured, she gets an extra D8.
She is a ranger, but I don't believe she's that kind
I
of
don't
ranger.
think
Is
it's
that all?
injured.
It is.
Is that
it?
all
Mine
rangers,
is
or is
all.
that okay?
Oh, you did too.
The first arrow just glances off the plates on the side. The second one she manages to get right in between some of the rib plates there, and that is going to do. I need my d8s. There we go. 13 points of damage to it. So that is. As she sinks this arrow in under one of its plates around the rib cage area, and it kind of screeches a bit as it rears up, glancing around, looking at her, and then turning back to see Olgan, who is still holding onto its horns. She is now also going to move back away. She's moving out of the little campsite area out into the open, and she can still see it. And she assesses the situation for a moment, and then she is going to do a quick little movement and cast a spell on it. So that is her turn, which brings us to Olgan's turn. With the bull right up in his face and his halberd, he reaches down, grabs it, and he's going to not going to step away from it just yet. But what you can see, he takes the halberd and then tries to jam it in its horns, and that's going to be, ooh, not good. Yeah, as he tries, it just rears its head once more and starts slashing at him, and he's unable to get the halberd in its horns. Instead, he's going to take a couple steps back, and is going to get an opportunity attack for that, which is going to hit. And from the hit, he takes an extra 24 damage,
Ooh, bitch.
which actually sends him flying, and he is now unconscious.
Oh dear.
Who was this
As he
again?
goes down.
Olgun.
Right.
You know, the only uninjured healthy dude?
Yeah, yeah.
As it
Yeah.
jabs its horns at him in an opportunity, and actually manages to catch him in the back, around the soft part of the under the rib cage, lifts him off his feet, and he is sent flying back to the rear. It's back with the 3 injured and sick party members that he had. He's now lying on the floor.
On that note, we're
John.
going to take a break.
It's now your turn.
Just like, all right, let's go. Now, I'm gonna rage,
Okay.
Hey,
and I'm going to charge at this thing,
Yep.
and I'm gonna try and
That's not what the expression means.
one hand, I'm gonna smash that rock down on like the base of its neck.
Okay. Roll attack.
I thought you were going to go pull the bull by the horns.
Ah.
Oh no. Oh no.
So that is a 15.
15 doesn't hit, unfortunately. As you slam the rock down,
Yep.
the rock cracks in your hand, and the metal plates seem undamaged.
Yeah.
What else would you like to do?
And then I'm gonna wrap my other arm around its neck and try and grapple it and hold it in place.
Okay, go for a grapple. So it is a large creature, but you can
Yep.
do that, right? Because
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
I think
roll
I can do it in
roll a contested check.
So you're gonna roll for acrobatics against me, right?
Yeah, totally. Ooh, I don't think it matters.
20.
Nice. Yeah, so you manage, even though it's bucking and rearing, you manage to get your arms around its neck, huge neck,
Yeah.
and you've got a hold on it now and you're grappled. So, is that your turn?
It's my turn.
Okay. Which brings us back to the top. Sariel. It's your turn.
I couldn't find what I was looking for.
You're gonna
Here's
gore me now, asshole.
Okay. I'm going to shoot it at the bull.
Okay. Make your attacks.
21.
It hits.
Cool. And I hunter's marked him.
You did.
$17 damage.
17 damage. Okay.
Next. And then 15 to hit? Probably not.
15 doesn't hit. No, unfortunately. The first arrow, you sink it in, just roundabout where John's about to go for this grapple. As you do, this arrow goes, sinks into under one of the plates, and in that momentary fluttering of pain, it loses concentration on what you're doing, and allows you to grapple it. And is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Archibald
can't
and
think what I
Silkus.
can do.
Do you mind if I go first quickly?
Go for it.
Thank you.
Because mine's going to take some convincing.
That is fair. That's fair. All right. Do you have a weapon on you?
Never.
Perfect. So
If you need a weapon,
Oh, damn.
are you looking for a weapon
I
specifically?
see. No.
no, that's fine. I was just hoping
Yeah, I
it
gotcha.
might help him out.
There's probably a dropped halberd on the ground next to me.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. It won't affect you. You'll be fine with it. Take my staff. I point it at John. The grains of sand before start going smaller into powdered iron, and I just catch, and it just all goes straight all
Pocket
over you.
iron.
And since it touched you, enlarged.
Okay. Okay. So as he does this, you see there was kind of a mini sandstorm.
Last
second
Silkus'
level.
cane up until this point,
Ooh, I like
and you
that.
see as he reaches out with the cane, it all kind of condenses at once,
Yeah.
and then a line, almost like a laser, of little particles shoot out towards you, encompass you, and then you grow in size. You're now enlarged, which you can. I'm sure you can remember that lasts for a minute concentration, right?
It is concentration. Yes, you get you double in size. You get advantage on strength checks, during saving throws. Weapon also grow to match. That's what I was asking. But
Big hands.
but the target attack.
So he has a huge rock.
Yes.
Well, I
gets
mean,
a boulder.
it crumbled.
Yeah. Well.
You get
Why
many
did you
boulders.
pick up clay? You should have picked up like an actual
Yeah,
rock.
it's okay though. The attack you get a D4 within every every extra damage.
So you
of
add a
attack.
D4 to all attacks. Okay.
Yeah. That's my last second level spell, so
Okay.
please do well.
That I like that.
I'm
your
just
turn?
picturing him
That
getting
is
pissed
my
off
turn.
that he's now huge.
By the way, the bull is you've got its rump like right there. It's facing Olgan like behind you, and its rump is like right next to you. So it hasn't moved out of your range.
Right, yep.
But, yeah.
Awkward.
So
Bonus action. I want to do an unarmed attack. I want to hit with the Nuid cane. No proficiency, just
for shits and giggles, roll an attack.
yeah. 18.
Funnily enough, it doesn't hit. As you just kind of, ding, and you hear the ringing.
Yeah.
As it resonates through
And the
its
cane
place.
shakes a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
You're like,
It's like there's
this
tuning
tiny little
forks.
tap, but you vibrate with it.
Yeah, the enemy like all body vibrates at
Yeah.
once.
So is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Archibald,
Oh,
convince me.
could I move? I'm gonna quickly run.
Go for it. It's used its reaction, so it doesn't get one
so
on.
I'm gonna run towards the entrance.
It's near me, right?
Yeah, it's within 15. It's within 15 feet.
What sort of metal does this look like?
It looks like it's iron or steel.
Okay.
It's still grappled
So
by a
it's-
now very large John.
It is.
Yep.
It is. You've
Definitely
grown around.
ferrous metal. That is good to know.
Oh god,
Yeah.
what is
This
happening?
is so much bullshit. I like it.
Now, I have a choice to make.
A booming voice.
Does Archibald know how to weld?
Archibald barely knows his name. How does he remember how
Roll
to
a history
weld?
check.
I want to believe that he just knows how.
Natural one.
The bullshit has not worked.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Archibald doesn't know how to weld,
No.
but he's gonna learn. Burning hands right against the rump.
Okay. Roll.
Make
It's
a
a
dexterity saving
dexterity
throw.
saving. Okay.
You're
Gonna
gonna
weld
get.
those ass cheeks together.
Basically.
It's a straight 13. Doesn't get
very
any bonus to
Oh,
that.
I think that's your DC.
Don't be my
Just-
DC.
you
Don't be
just
my
picture
DC.
feeling
Don't
your
be my
ass
DC.
melt.
It's
Do you end
not
up writing written.
I
it down there?
don't think it's written down.
Not really.
We have fixed that.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
it's really
I'm
uncomfortable.
only 14 though.
yeah, it's okay.
Ah.
13?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm like right up against it, and John's grappling it. Surely it's got disadvantage.
It isn't like a small kind of cave, to be fair. Small
true.
fish, I suppose. Why am I helping?
Where's it gonna
Alright,
go?
survival. It is also grappled. He's grappled.
I'll give the disadvantage. Yeah, that fails. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
burning hands,
God.
roll your damage.
Okay.
Good convincing.
Based on
guys.
this live stream,
3,
learn how to bully the DM.
4, 10.
10 damage total.
Yep.
Okay, you do that.
10 damage to the bull's ass.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
yes. I'm pretty sure they like to use the word rump. But yeah, I'm
That's only if you're
burning-
planning to
I'm
eat it.
basically feeding it curry the night before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You run up to it and you place your hands on its rump, and you feel immediately the metal is freezing to the touch.
Yeah, not anymore.
And you let out your burning hands. You watch as the fire kind of licks into the seams in the plates and into the gaps, and it rears up in pain, and you deal that damage.
If science
is that your
taught
turn?
me anything,
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away as it's rearing up in pain.
Go for it. You're full 15 feet back the other way.
Yeah.
if science taught me anything though, something very fast hot against something very, very cold is combustion.
Wait, what?
He should blow up.
You want him to explode. Okay.
Cave us in.
That's called shrapnel, Josh.
Sulfur.
It is a known fact. Well, no, that's us. We're the shrapnel.
I don't feel like she's gonna be able to do any damage to this big metal creature. But since she's got a really strong mind of her own, she's gonna go out and bite the sleeping one.
Okay. Roll your attack with advantage. It's an auto crit because it's unconscious.
So why does it have to roll?
It's
It's
an
not an
advantage
auto
roll
hit.
for an attack, but it's auto crit.
Gotcha.
12.
12 hits.
Could still bite the dust, as it were.
Yeah.
But is anyone within No, it doesn't matter.
So it wakes up. However, you do deal damage. So what damage?
Oh, great.
18 again. Because it's a
Oh
crit.
yeah, sorry,
Not the best
18,
movie.
16, right? Or 18?
Plus 2.
It was 18. Yes.
Well, no, as her.
It wasn't max
24
damage because it's a
plus
crit. So it
2.
was
Yeah, max and double.
18, I
She's
think.
She's 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Which is a critical hit.
Which is
as 18.
18. Yeah. Okay. And as she clamps down on its neck, you see it wakes up and then
And
explodes.
It's like,
Exactly.
And then the rest of her turn is her going to be just shaking it from side to side,
Okay.
no.
kind of growling, and
Shake it.
Okay.
and then she's gonna like bring it back inside
Okay.
because I
Sure.
don't want to leave her outside.
I'll allow it. All right.
Shake it, soul.
It is now the bull's turn. Having dealt with Olgun, it is going to turn to face you.
Is its movement
It's gonna try and
at
face you.
all?
its movement
by
speed is
its-
0.
Its movement speed is technically 0.
Yeah.
Um,
You could probably still turn around, just can't move.
But is it struggling
Right.
to move when both its butt cheeks have been melted?
It seems-
It waddles.
It seems
It
like
shuffles.
it seems to be having some trouble using that leg, but it's not welded.
Oh.
It's
Worth a
seared,
shot. If you cast it second level,
seared
maybe.
pork.
Ninth level,
As
that
it's
later
going
on.
to try and turn to you, but it's not able to get its horns around to you, and it's not able to get your hooves up
Yes.
to you. So instead, as it kind of turns, it is just going to buck and kick, and
Yep.
Silkus is going
I'm
to attack
30 feet
you.
away. I said I moved
You
towards
did.
the entrance.
You did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, right.
It's going to try and buck you off. So
Yep.
I'm made of nothing but
so that's a
flesh
contested
Buck
check.
off.
and bones.
Buck
Yep.
off. Oh
I'm a
no.
weak man. Not even a
24.
Yeah, you keep a hold of it, and it is
Hey.
in place. It's got no one to attack at the moment, so that's its turn.
Got
Um,
Yeah.
double advantage on this check.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's not double advantage, but I
Yeah.
have 2 instances of advantage on this.
It's
yeah.
got enlarge and rage.
Nice.
It is now Leah's turn, and she is going to. You see her kind of crouch down, knock another arrow, and she's going to take 2 more shots. Which are, one of them hits once more, and that is going to do.
6 points of damage.
You know, it makes sense that only one of our arrows is hitting each time because we've got to get it right between the plate.
Yeah. 15, 18. What's Hunter's Mark damage? 3?
6.
6.
D6.
Oh,
D6.
D6.
3d6.
4.
So
Don't push it.
22. As she sends this, as John, you're holding it in place,
Yeah.
and she sends this arrow underneath, between its back legs, underneath up to its like stomach region and its chest region, and you standing back, you see as the arrow sinks in under the plate, and all the way under the plate, and then it, and then splays out on the ground, apparently dead.
Please stall that kill. Let's kill her.
With that, we are effectively out of combat. So
Are you sure she'll kick my ass? That's rough.
Olgun's unconscious, right?
yes, and Leah immediately runs over and starts helping him.
On that note, I'm just gonna
Okay,
go.
cool.
I'm just gonna and just deselect.
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 Yeah.
We'll leave
You
him
see-
at the size, but deselect.
You see Leah cast a
close
quick
the click.
spell, and Olgun wakes up.
And you just.
That wasn't okay.
He gets
Fine.
Nothing saves me using my last spell slots, so I'm good with
How'd
that.
that feel? Must be a bit of a rush.
You'll say that again.
How'd that feel? Must have been a bit. Sorry.
You got a problem with what I say?
No, he said you could say that again, and you didn't.
Damn it.
Olgan kind of sits up and brings himself into a upright position and just says, "I let it get me, but obviously you dealt with it.
That could have happened to anyone. Don't beat yourself.
I want to
Anyone
go.
else hurt?"
That's
You're
a
alright.
totally fine sentence to say. How dare you?
You tanked it. It's fine.
I know
Is it
what,
always an
I know what
issue?
you're
We're
going
okay.
for, though. God damn.
I'm gonna go have a look and see if it's like actually biological in there or if it's an actual machine.
Cyborg
Okay.
bull.
Because I want to know this because I've never read the page that in depth myself. So Archibald wants to find out.
I'm also just going to look outside and see if there's anything chasing the bull.
Okay. You roll a perception check.
Okay.
You, as you go up to it, the plates are very well connected. Most of them overlap just a little bit. To actually get any look inside, you can see it has, as you kind of pull open its eyelid, it has what look like biological eyes.
Oh, that's
You
great.
pull open its mouth, it has a tongue, and you immediately see, as you look in its mouth, two large glands that seem to be, you don't know what purpose, but large glands on either side of the mouth on the inside. So it seems biological from
Can I make
from
an
that look.
educated guess?
I mean, that's you making a guess.
Poison spray.
It seems like it's possible. Seems like it's possible. If you would like to further delve in, you'd have to start pulling plates apart.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, make a
I'm
strength check.
Very curious.
Athletics check.
17 on that perception check.
Is cocked. I wish it wasn't.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah. Oh.
Fuck you.
Hold on, hold on.
Wait,
Hey
with
Archibald,
modifiers?
Hold on.
you need a hand?
Oh.
With modifiers?
I was very close to the mic. I apologize.
Eight.
So just like, hey Archibald, you need a hand with
I
that?
would love one. Just tear one of these plates.
You
up
are
for
still
me.
enlarged.
No, I snapped and he's shrunk.
Oh, okay.
That's the snap.
So rude.
Okay. John's like, you need a
Sorry.
You need a hand. And he walks over and he's like,
He's slowly getting smaller as he gets to
I
it.
need a hand with that. Here, I'll get it for you. Oh, damn it. Oh, here we go.
Sorry, it's trying to keep
roll
that spell
with
going.
advantage because he's helping you.
Yeah.
Athletics check. Oh no, how are
11.
you rolling so bad? You start to pry some of these plates. You don't manage to rip one off
Yeah.
or pry them apart far, but you get it far enough apart that you can see some semblance of organic material that's attached to the plate from
Okay.
underneath.
Okay.
17 on that perception.
17. Looking around the area, you don't see anything immediately that was following them. You see the blood trail from where Sulfur dragged the one you froze back into the campsite, but besides that, you don't see much of note.
Okay, so when I'm looking around, I'll hear like them kind of like hit sound of metal going, and I'm gonna go over there and inspect it as well.
Yeah. So roll. What are you looking for?
I'm going. I guess. Well, obviously, I don't know. Did you say it out loud about the like poison to or something? Echo with the cave or something?
No, that was just Glenn.
Okay. I want to inspect and see if there's anything bioorganic and whatnot. See if there's anything I can.
I mean, these guys have already
Yeah.
established that there is something organic to it.
Okay. Cool.
So if you'd like to look for, if there's anything else in particular, specifically that you might think,
Would I have known that it's got the poison glands?
roll a nature check.
And just for shits and gigs, well,
Actually, make it a history because you would never have encountered this, but you might have learned about it. So
Just
use that roll and
Use that roll?
history.
Okay, that was a 7 plus history 10.
You're not entirely sure what this is, so you don't really have any idea of what it might have been capable of had it been given more time.
Okay, cool.
just for gits and shigs, I'm gonna go over to one of the plates that was like rusted. I'm gonna try casting prestidigitation on it.
Okay.
With what effect were you intending to
I'm
achieve?
just seeing if it'd clean off the rust.
Okay,
You cast
I just
Presto?
mean like
And it doesn't. The rust doesn't go away.
Okay,
It
what
stays.
about mending?
Mending also doesn't affect it. In fact, you can't even land a target with mending.
Try message.
It's,
Tell it to get
it's
better.
biological. I just wanted to see if it was like something that I could have cleaned up
So
in the heat of
while
battle.
they're inspecting the bull,
That's quite an idea.
Sulfur drags over the non-thirsty dead bird and nudges Sulcus and whines a little bit because she wants some acknowledgement of saving him.
You did well. You did well there, Sulfur. Good on you. Is she carrying the bird?
No, she's like placed it at your feet
Ah.
and like nudged
Is
you
she?
like,
Yeah.
hey, hey.
oh, I mean,
cat does
I'm
that.
gonna go over. I'm gonna tell her she's a good girl. Hey, Sulfur. Oh, you're such a good girl. You did so good, so
She's
good.
gonna like, she's covered in like blood around her snout
Yeah.
and stuff, and she's just gonna get up.
I'm
and start
trying.
licking
I am
Yeah.
trying not to spew. I'm
Oh.
trying to hold it in. I'm like,
Oh no.
I'm still like
well
post rage,
done.
so my like my like feeling of disgust hasn't fully returned yet.
Mine is ever present.
Mine is never present.
She's really appreciative that John appreciates what she did for the team.
Yeah.
I
She's
just-
just like,
Such a good
yeah,
girl.
like
so
this,
good.
like this.
Silkus like, yeah, that's very good. Well done. So if you excuse me, and I run outside and spew.
Sulfur, come
She
here,
runs
girl.
out after you and eats it.
Oh, that's more.
Okay, I'm just gonna wait for a
I
bit.
spew more.
As all this happens,
Someone control this animal.
Leah,
An
Leah
endless
finishes-
cycle.
Leah finishes attending to Alden's wounds, wraps, bandages them up, and Erene, the half elf, pipes up from his position in the back and kind of says, "I didn't think I'd ever see one of those, but that right there, that's a gorgon."
Interesting.
You knew
Gorgon.
this.
Yes, I did. With the 27, Archibald did as well.
Yeah.
Oh, with the 25.
25.
Would I have known that with my studies?
Everyone roll a history check who wants to.
You mean one of them
recognise the
snake
name.
lady folks?
Yeah.
To see if you recognise this.
That's cocked.
That's
22. No,
Again,
21.
another 10.
Another 10.
No.
15.
15. The three of you recognize his name. Gorgons are known. They generally inhabit, in fact, they are endemic to the eastern areas of Dalandar, particularly the mountains and the mountainous regions. For you in particular, you now recall hearing that name, that they are known particularly for their petrifying breath.
Oh, okay. That's what
they-
those glands are.
Have a habit of being able to leave statues in their wake. And this area, in fact, as you recall this, the Dalen Range has a number of unique monsters in the region that all share this same trait.
Right. That's why
And
we're
you-
not supposed to be here at night.
And in this case, you also recognize, thinking about this, the birds as cockatrices.
Okay, so the birds are cockatrice, and the gorgon is petrifying in the very literal sense of the word. Don't let them breathe on you.
That's quite interesting that your memory comes back in very small doses, but when the doses are very potent.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, there's a
He has a
there's a
lightning
vein.
bolt on his
There's a vein. Well, that's luckily we were able to pin that down quickly and ended it. Pretty happy about that.
I always
Anybody
thought it
else
was
feel like going to
cockatrices.
sleep?
Oh, very much so.
I definitely
Very
feel like
much.
going to sleep, and at this point, I will drop disguise self and stop looking like a rock.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, wait, oh, there you are.
So,
Just the cave was talking to us that time.
So I'll take first watch. I didn't take any damage.
I would
Okay.
take.
I'm fine with
As-
it.
Wait,
As I'm,
did any of us?
I did.
Okay.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And I lost.
Oh
my
no,
2
I
spell
didn't.
slots.
but because I'm a wizard, I just assumed I did.
I'll
It's
give
just
him
like,
some
I'm on
advantage.
14
Yeah.
hit points. I must have taken damage.
As we are bedding down for the night, I'm just gonna pet Sulfur and cast Prestidigitation and get everything off her face.
I'm just
Thank
wiping my
you.
face. I
Including
wipe
the
my face
vomit.
off with my sleeve.
Yeah, including the vomit.
Okay, so you, as the sun is now getting low, you all bring the fire back up once more. You prepare yourself to go to sleep. You take your watches, and a number of the other group also offer to take some of the watch off your hands. So Olgan is there, who offers to take watch. Leah offers to take watch, and then two of you can take watch. Cesariel going first, and then someone else. With this, we are going to take a break right here. So we'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll pick up from there.
Balls.
I was going to say more, but that
There's
didn't
nothing
end
to
up
say.
happening at all.
No, I'm not doing that anymore. It's working.
Josh, do you know how to
We
shut
don't
your
have a
mouth?
tissue.
Yes, we do, actually. Here, have that.
Thank Christ. It's for Leah. Saving that one.
Cool.
Good
Sorry.
lord.
We are live.
Welcome back, everybody, to Maxed and Doubled.
In that 10-minute break, we had 8 hours of sleep and are now refreshed and ready to go.
Indeed. So,
None of us have any excuse to be tired.
having...
I make John tea. Just want to point that out right now.
Okay. Is there anything else people would like to do as you all kind of wake up this morning?
I'm gonna wake up before Sulfur this time.
Okay.
In
Good
the
luck.
cur.
I'd like to roll to wake up before Sulfur.
roll a constitution
Challenging
check.
rolls, right?
Roll a constitution check.
That's not bad.
What did you get, Glenn?
What did you get?
What did you get? You first.
Okay. 17.
Yeah, he wakes up before her. She got like a 9.
And I'm gonna just get my water skin. I'm just gonna pour it on her very slowly.
Like on her face.
Yeah.
You hold
Okay,
it
so
over.
you're gonna.
You're gonna water.
You hold it out and you slowly start dripping onto her. And the first drop hits her ear and it goes. And then the second couple drops go. And then eventually you pour it out and she goes. And then looks up at you.
Now you know how it feels.
That's so lame because you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna ask where everybody was lying and try to get it so she licked like Archibald, but like was whacking somebody else with her tail at the same time.
I'm sleeping like in like the corner.
And the
of
other thing I
cave.
was thinking was that as he's pouring it, she wakes up doing this,
Yeah.
trying to like drink it.
So, you all wake up in your various ways.
No, we all wake up to him laughing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Sulfur looking miserable.
Oh, she's not the only one. She's not the only one.
Her
I'll let
fur
her-
around her head is just so...
I'll let her sit in it for like a couple of minutes and I'll take pity and presto it off.
Okay. The hunting party themselves wake up, and eventually you are all sitting around eating your various hard rations.
Does that look better?
Yes, they are all fully recovered, of course, except Erene, who still has a broken leg. But none of them are sick anymore.
Wicked.
That's that.
Is Olga also fully recovered from having been knocked unconscious last
He
night?
is fully recovered. Yes.
Excellent.
No concussion for Olga.
And yeah, Olga comes over.
Actually-
And, yep.
Taking note of the fact that we spent most of the day climbing up a mountain and then fought in the evening. Does John even sound hungover?
It would have mostly just gone through.
Wait, as in.
What did you do? Did you like scull a bottle of whiskey before you went to sleep?
Where do you keep these?
He's not a morning person.
It's alcohol dependency. I don't need to drink to get the hangover anymore.
Okay, well then I'll still make him too. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing something I didn't have to do.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to try and stealthily put some whiskey in my tea. It's a 17.
A 17.
That's a 17 for sneakiness of whiskey in tea.
Okay, can I like do like a
You don't
perception
suspect
check
this.
on
What's your passive perception?
Delicious Long Island iced tea.
14.
You don't suspect this, and as you turn around, you do this. And
I am
no one
happily
seems to
sipping
notice.
tea and reducing my hangover.
You, like,
That's not how it works.
like set the tea down for a second and kind of like look as if you're, you know, waking yourself up a bit before preparing. And for a second, your cloak goes over the tea, and then there it goes again. There is some whiskey in your tea. It's weird. It
Can you
cancels
imagine
itself
Barocca
out.
and tea? Like Barocca and whiskey, sorry?
Essentially, yeah.
It's a screwdriver.
It's like cancelling itself out.
Pretty much.
Your hangover doesn't
It's
go away completely, but it's improved a little bit, and you get a bit of a buzz from the whiskey. Yes.
Idiot.
Olgan, seemingly fully recovered, stands up once more and heads over and speaks to you, Silkus, and he's going to say, "We very much appreciate what you did for us yesterday, and all of our members are fully recovered, so
That's
obviously you..."
glad to hear about that. Yeah. Oh, sorry. More stretches. Gotta get them in.
If I'm nearby, I want to say he's just whisper. He's a city boy. Just
I'm not really from around
I see.
around the local areas. Sorry, you were saying something.
We
Oh my-
appreciate it. Look, if we can help you with anything, especially now that we're recovered, look, we can get Erene back to Arkenhau without too much of an issue. We can recover our horses where we left them and deal with that. But look, if is there anything we can help you with? We know this area pretty well. We haven't been too far into the mountains themselves, but we know the locations of some passages. We could help you potentially. What direction are you heading?
Quick question. Josh here.
Mm.
We went east, or we went east, south, southeast.
Yeah, east southeast.
Okay. Well, actually, this is just probably just for me. Is there a safe passageway down further south from this
Where are you
direction?
looking to get to? How much further south?
Possibly quite a way away. Sorry, the name doesn't kind of misses. The name of the town misses.
Escapes you.
Roll a history check.
Yeah, it's we can't. We said something. Could
Are you trying to get to Yolm?
Young. I think so. Yeah.
It's the one in the mountains.
Oh.
No. No, we talked about it a while ago.
Take a look at the
No, I don't.
sheet.
I don't think I have. I think it's the,
No, there's a page that has like a traveler's guide. That
yeah,
might
no, I
have the
don't think
town
it's.
name on it for you.
Don't think it's on there though. Where is the stuff?
Before the calendar.
For the calendar. Thank you. Crippled heads over double over. Oh, there we are. There we are.
I also have the map if you would like to.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Can see.
Look at that. That's
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at more.
Just you can look at it if you want.
Looking down, pretty much down south straight away, like down towards.
There's Ekrestead
What
is
is
the
this
closest.
in regards to? Would I have it written down?
You aren't there.
Well,
No, but what?
But Hannah's
What is this in
Hannah's
regards
notes
to?
are
I
extensive.
can't say backstory stuff.
right.
Yeah, you know. We haven't talked about it in
Okay.
like a year.
We haven't talked about that for a while.
I forgot what it's
Um,
called.
I'm going to take that off you.
Aw.
And I'm going to...
He was just about to get all the
He's-
information.
he's
so
sprung.
disappointed.
I'd like to point out that he has sprung this on me with no warning. I know most of their backstories,
Don't
but
worry,
this
those-
is like
Like
well
a
and
picked
truly...
puppy.
This is well and truly in the depths of his most detailed points. There's no way.
Mate,
Right, let me find this.
I sprung it upon myself just then, okay?
Let me find this.
I'm the only type of person that can spring your own
Pretty
trap.
sure we
Okay,
hadn't
so while-
decided where we were going.
While you're
before
finding this, we need to like have a group chat, I guess.
Please do.
It's just me and Olgan
Okay,
separate, so you
so-
three can talk.
Do we wanna?
We'll get back to that.
Okay, so do we wanna think about whether we're going after Fenrir or whether we're kind of heading into town to figure out what the hell is up with your bounty? Because I figure those.
Or
are
are
probably,
we
like,
doing what Silka's promised and taking you somewhere with your book?
Yeah. I think.
You guys have done
That's
what
true.
you promised for me. You've saved Sulfur, and that means a lot to me. We will come with you.
Thank you.
As long as you can promise her, eventually we'll find Fenrir.
As long as there's no more
She may not come with me
blood,
otherwise.
guts on
Yeah,
her
I reckon we can
mouth.
promise that.
I think so.
I've had to go back through our messages.
I know,
Find your
it's so
PDF.
far. If it's not on my in my backstory,
When you
though.
say that
Yeah.
you
Don't have a
promise
list of
that
my
we
stuff.
will find him, she
Oh, okay, don't worry.
automatically just starts licking you.
Okay, okay.
Do you want to quickly
Go
step
go
away?
love John for a while.
You could have told me this during the break.
I didn't think about it just until you said, "Where would you like to go?" I'm like, "Oh,
So
I
forget which city it was. There was a place where we
Probably.
kind of figured your
So you want just
a bounty
get
had
an
come
step
from.
away quickly?
That was the really electronic technique.
Yeah, which
So-
is like one of the
Technology place.
places that's kind of high up on the list of like places where I'd want to speak to people.
Hang
Two
on.
birds with one stone.
Potentially, yeah.
Also, I seem to have picked up a new trick in my travels.
Usen.
Hmm?
UCENN, the city of technology on Anistrum.
Suppose we've
Seems like
got some cosmetics now, and you've got some new tricks.
Yeah.
We do have those 3 applications that look like your skin that we can cover your
It is
room.
a town
That will be
south.
good.
Yeah.
We'd have to make sure it wasn't raining, of course. Not everyone's as good as John with his clothing.
Unless you've changed it around since.
I do have impeccable fashion.
I wonder if we
I
can make him in
think-
some sort of umbrella kind of hat.
I think I can just use that spell that I used last night to disguise myself
Well,
if it's raining.
if
But
you're out
if
of
it's not
spell
raining,
slot, you know.
Yeah.
like, I'll just make sure I don't go into a town when it's raining if I don't have spell slots. Which,
Well, a well-populated town, should we say? Because I mean, I can always
yeah.
scout out ahead and see how many focuses there are. We have to.
I reckon
a location.
a
location.
highly technological town is going to have those posters up everywhere.
Like if it,
Very likely.
I mean, if it's the place we suspect is the origin of the posters, then it's going to be the place where the heat on you is the highest. But also, I guess it's going to be the place where we are most likely to
Get answers.
get answers.
But it is a bit of a risk.
Yeah.
Alternatively, we could brush sulfur again and make you some sort of wig.
I'd rather shave my head.
Do you think?
No offense, Sulfur. Your fur looks very good on you. Just
She wags her tail.
Who knows?
not on my head.
Maybe you'll find the tattoo for your wish spell underneath.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever that does, I can take a fairly educated guess.
Well, there might even be
I
black
mean, I've
markets
heard
there
the
where we can
ballads.
add
I
to your
thought
tattoos.
that. I
Mm.
legit
Yeah.
thought. Okay.
Check that.
So
Yeah.
Obviously, we wouldn't want to goes to an actual proper tattoo place.
So you didn't know
Yeah.
that
Not what you
town.
wanted,
What
but
you
we might be able to
knew
find some black
was
market way.
that.
So
I'm not sure a black market tattooist
It's on the
would be
continent.
able to.
Yeah, it's just
Do
a,
what
it's
these
just a
Give
small
the-
thing.
Give that back
Yeah.
up.
Cool. Also,
Sorry?
I mean, maybe if we had our own metal, like you know how you've got the metal one.
Yeah.
Maybe if we brought
It's
our
a
own
good-
metal, they might be able to. But I doubt a black market dealer would have that just lying around.
Yeah.
probably a good time to mention that first night when you were sort of unconscious but also attacking us.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, you didn't remember it. You were sort of unconscious, and then you went out to a rooftop and kind of gazed at
Right.
the star for a while, and it kind
Yep.
of found you.
Yep. I
Uh,
remember the stars.
So, after you knocked me out, I had this dream where I was kind of worried about saying it first, but I had this like dream, and I think it wasn't a normal dream, and I saw you getting some operation done on you, and it looked like there were these military people there, and in the room I saw someone from my past, a dead man now, but I don't know. I think I have a stake in finding out what's going on as well.
Right. Who was the man, if you're comfortable enough to tell us?
He was at the time back when I was much more of a fast and loose gambler, I should say. He was something of a friendly rival of mine, and then we had a falling out, I suppose you could say. And I didn't talk to him after that.
Do you think it was just a dream, or were
It
you-
feels kind of too auspicious. I don't know. It could have been a dream. It's hard to say.
If we're treating that as premonition, then we have to be careful. Somebody's intending to do something like that with you.
maybe they've already done it?
I mean, you do seem like someone, like, those aren't ordinary tattoos. That is definitely some special procedure. And
Yeah.
you're not an ordinary wizard. I glance over at
Ordinary.
yeah.
These, I don't know how closely you've looked at them, but they're carborundum infused. It's something I noticed after we were in the tower.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Have a look at my diary entry for the dream that night.
Go for it.
Oh, was that when you asked everybody to leave? We finally know what happened. Well, part of what happened, probably.
Interesting. Well, I don't know nothing of it. Olga, right?
Yes.
Well, we're looking at going down south, and I'd like to see if there's be a more stream way to get there. We're looking at somewhere like Wintervale, possibly. I know it's quite a trek, but I wonder if there's any easy way to avoid Chimera.
My boy, Wildevale is a continent.
I know.
You'll be looking to head overseas for that, but if you're looking to head south on Dalandar, there are two ways. If you have some clout politically, you could probably just head straight through the border at the south of the plains. Alternatively, you could travel through Yolm. It would probably be easier for you, less military checkpoints involved. It'll be a longer route, probably a physically harder route, but you'd be able to do it there.
We'd be able to.
I know the way to get to Yolm if you'd like. There are a couple different ways.
That would actually be kind of great, actually. As for trying to get through, be able to figure a way, not a way through that. But I don't really want to skip political talk on that and be able to just try to be as settled as possible. That's my problem, and I want to be able to not get prying eyes per se, because I'm a Newid. I don't know if that means anything to you, but it's quite high up within Chimera, and I just don't want anything to do with that right at the moment. And I could, if seen, I could could be noticed, and it could cause problems.
That's understandable, my boy.
So you're thinking Dalendor? Is it Dalendor?
We're on Dalandar.
Dalendor. Well, sorry, I mean,
The
you were saying we
continent
have to
you're
go
on right now
through.
is Dalandar.
You were saying we have to go through where? Sorry, you were saying
Yolm. So
Yolm.
Yolm is
Yolm.
the
Sorry.
city,
words.
is the kind of quote-unquote capital city, even though there isn't, it's not lawless, but each city governs itself, as opposed to one country in the eastern tract of Dalandar. You've got essentially what's happening right now. You're on the eastern side of Dalandar. You are right up against the, as far west in the Dalen Range, which is the big mountain range that runs pretty much from the very north of Dalandar all the way down to the bottom, all the way down to the south. And you're at the Dalen Range Major, which is on the left side. It's the larger of the two. And then there is a gulf that comes all the way down, forms a peninsula off one side of Dalandar, and on the other side of the gulf, and then running parallel, is the Dalen Range Minor. In between the two, right at the end of the gulf where there's still land, is Yolm. It's the biggest city in the eastern tract, which this whole area is. And then it leads down, there's a pathway out of Yolm that leads down to the south and into the Cromulden Accord, which is the alliance to the south that the Kaiman Empire is currently at odds with.
Right. So do you have a way to get to Yong safely?
I can suggest a couple ways, yes.
That'd be great.
I've never been there myself, but I know of them.
Well, any information would be very helpful. Beyond that, if you need any more help or anything, I'm sure you can find a way to be able to contact me. Not a problem.
I'm sure.
There's many ways.
You said your name was Neward?
Sickles knew it. Yes.
I'm sure I could find someone by that name.
Just be careful.
Send a letter to them.
Just be careful on who you're talking to. If it's anyone from Camellia, just
Look, I don't know how I'm going to contact you, but I can give you some suggestions, and that's about it. If you need a hand physically getting
Share sending stone numbers.
anywhere within the Empire, I can help you with that as well.
that'd be great. That'd be immense help.
If you're heading through the mountains, your horses aren't going to be much use.
Had a feeling.
What we can do is I can send one of my people. Maybe we can take your horses back to Freda Town where we last saw you, or even buy them off you if that's what you wanted.
Well, the horses. I'll have to talk to the rest of the group on that one. If you're able to spare someone to be able to guide us down, that'd be very helpful right there.
We can only guide you to the passageways through. We're not entering the mountain range.
Okay.
It's not our jurisdiction.
Right. Well, thank you anyway. That's great. Definitely take you on that offer, but I first have to talk to the rest of my group, and I will get back to you on that. But no,
Understood?
absolutely, thank you for that. And I just hands out. I was like,
That was awkward. That was right in front of me.
I'm gonna go back to the group, and I'm assuming they've just been
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
good.
Yom, yeah?
So I have an idea.
What was it? It was. I've already forgotten the name of the town. It was Siren.
So I have an idea. So
Yusen.
Yusen.
oh,
Yusen.
Liusen.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've been to Yusen. It's the essentially technological capital.
Yeah.
Located on the continent of Antristram.
Yeah.
So separate continent altogether.
It's not a bad idea, Liusen. I
Yusen.
see where you're going with. However, I think the best way we can actually get to try and work through the promise with you is to go down to the town of Cowan. I have a few connections down there that can be able to be immense help. It's down towards south.
You like South.
I am a southerner.
If you're going to Kaiwan, it's another continent again. Those are all the capitals of like the continents, essentially.
Basically, we're going to go down there. That it's a big journey, but I got more contacts there than I do have in Amsterdam. In Houston, the contacts for Houston is less me. It'd be more my father, and we're in a bit of a rocky relationship right there. So I wouldn't really get far in there. But I have a lot more connections in Cohen.
Okay. I kind of see the benefit of both, but also I feel like I've got kind of an obligation to Archibald, and if I settle down into this, then I'm not really going to be able to uproot, so I kind of want to be able to help him. I don't know.
Well, funny you should mention that as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we actually go down to Cowan, there's probably a lot more answers down there. If
Is he bullshitting?
else. Sorry?
Oh yeah,
Is he
speaking
bullshit?
of...
Roll an insight check.
Am I
'Cause it
rolling
sound like-
persuasion? What?
The way he's talking sounds like he's putting everything into his own agenda and just like
Roll persuasion
Saying
or
some
deception,
bullshit?
your choice.
Okay. Both?
I actually think I'm also suspicious
and I'm
at this
doing
point,
investigation.
because this is specifically
It's
not
a-
the
it's
thing
an
which he
insight thing.
suggested we do the last time we talk
Insight.
about my interests.
That is a 12.
What did you roll?
5.
Please, low.
Hi.
See, it's a 12. You can tell. See, there's a 12 right there. There's a
15.
12.
That's 15! And I get a +2, so 17.
It's weird.
Silkus,
I
to
am-
you,
I'm not bullshitting in a sense.
as you're listening, he
He's pushing
believes
his own
what
agenda,
he's saying. He's not lying, as far as you can tell.
but he is pushing his
But-
own agenda.
He does seem to be a little pushing his own agenda. He seems mostly genuine. But
So what's there for you?
Down in Cohen. Really not too much, actually.
Then
It's-
why are you suggesting it?
Well, it's more or less on the way to where I would like to go. But I figured two birds, one stone. So, and to be fair, I'm still holding up my promise to two. I've already held a promise for one of them, which would be sulfur. I
Which I
fear that
appreciate.
one
But
for
if
one.
you're going to try to convince me to go somewhere, you need to tell me the whole truth.
I want to go to Wintervale.
Why?
There's someone that I need to. Oh, I want to go down south more than anything. There's someone that I want to meet. Someone I used to talk to for a little bit, and if I needed any more help from them, I could be able to seek down south, and I feel a better time than anything to actually do it. So in a sense, it's 3 birds, 1 stone, really, because Kevin would have a lot more information on someone that's basically dipped an umbral. And plus the fact that I do have plenty of contacts in there to be able to work around some kind of deal with banks and deal with implementing such a system. And I think you should also probably be able to take the benefit of doubt with me, because I've been nothing but honest with you this entire time. And at the same time,
Hey, don't get defensive.
I'm not getting defensive. I'm just stating the obvious. I didn't have to come here at all. I didn't have to come and help you at all. But I willfully did it.
He is so getting defensive.
Not defensive. I'm just stating the
He
truth.
is defensive.
For your reference.
You are.
You can think anything you want. I'm just saying that You're the one that's thinking I'm being dishonest here. And I've
I
given
did
you
not
nothing.
say dishonest. I said I wanted the whole truth, not a partial truth. You're withholding what your own agenda was and telling us that we would be going for ourselves. I wanted to know what was in it for you.
How can we help you down there?
Honestly, you can't. And that's the best thing about this. You all can't help besides just protect me from upon going down. If anything, once down there, there's really nothing you guys can do.
And
So if anything, I'm helping more than
when
anything.
we get down there, are you going to stay down there?
Not really sure. Honestly, not really sure. Depends what I find. And before you ask, I'm not sure what I'm looking for.
I thought we were friends.
We are.
So
This
what are
feels
you
like a
looking
Glenn and
for?
Josh moment, not a Archibald and Silgus
So what
moment.
are you looking for?
Like I said, I don't really know.
How do you know you haven't already found it? You wanted to get out of your city.
Okay. It's not. What I'm looking for is not a what. It's a they. I don't really know. They use some kind of magic, some kind of thing to disguise, and I'm trying to. I'm not sure what they're gonna look like. They're always.
Why are you looking for
some.
them?
Okay, on that.
Okay,
That I'm
let
gonna
me
keep to
clarify.
myself.
Let me clarify. How do I word this? Are you looking for them out of revenge?
Oh no, no,
Wanting
no.
to seek
They helped me
knowledge.
out of a tight problem a little while
Or
ago.
because you've already met them?
They helped me out, and
So you have already met these people.
yes, yes.
But it's not a revenge thing.
No, if anything, it's more of a something. It's more along the lines of I'm grateful, and I
You want to
to
help
find.
somehow. Pay them back.
Yes, in a sense,
Okay.
yes. They
If
helped me
it
out.
was a vengeance thing, I would be less willing to help.
No, there's not a. There's no such thing as vengeance in my dictionary.
There is in mine. But... Alright.
I already said I would go where Archibald and John would go. So
This seems like some pretty hefty conversation. I think I'm just gonna.
Holy shit, you're still here.
And Hogan is
I'm just gonna
right
take the
behind me.
group into that corner over there.
Oh,
And then he sidesteps away. So I was like,
Doesn't even sidestep. He hovers.
sorry, Olgan.
Yes.
Before you hover away,
Yes.
scared the shit out of me.
are we on agreement that we're gonna go south?
Are you asking me?
I guess.
I'm not going south.
I'm talking to these.
Guess-
Hold on a second.
Archibald, are you willing? Are you okay with delaying finding out about your past as well? Or?
It seems like every day that goes past, I get more and more information and somewhat more and more answers about what I used to know. I'd like to be more than prepared when we end up where I started.
Okay.
In Cohen,
I think
you're gonna be able to find you're
South
gonna
then.
regain your memories.
Don't make promises. You
Not a
can't keep.
promise. It's not a promise.
south then.
I know that it's a way that it will be possible.
For reference, so that we're all aware. Cairn, which is Cairn,
Sorry, yeah.
which is
Cairn.
located on Ekranora, the continent of Ekranora, is another city that has an umbral generator. Most of you know this. You all know this. and it is essentially located. So if Dalandar was Australia, it's essentially South America. So it's across what is for us the Pacific Ocean, what is in Genovoa the Kolpatan Sea.
Okay.
It is across the so basically
Not that far,
directly
then,
east.
It's just the sea.
Basically directly east.
It's like a puddle almost.
Wildevale, the continent of Wildevale, is essentially Antarctica.
Huh.
They didn't need to know that bit, but yes.
They know that.
That's
bit.
pretty
It's
cool.
a continent.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's got memory loss.
So
I was born 2 weeks ago.
so we're going south, and it is extremely cold south. How winter wolfy is Sulfur, by the way?
She's quite fluffy. She'll be alright.
Okay.
Put it this way. Wolves molt. They have an inner coat and an outer, and they molt. So
Yeah.
if we
Very
get
foxies.
into colder spaces, not as like, hey, it's like 30 odd degrees, now it's
Yeah.
minus 10, she'll change her coat to suit as we get colder.
Okay.
Put on a winter
Wildevale
jacket.
isn't necessarily, it's not exactly Antarctica.
Yeah.
So you know this.
It's a
It
good
is a
geographical
relatively green
approximation.
area,
Okay.
but location-wise, comparatively to where Dalandar is, it's essentially Antarctica to
Okay.
Australia.
It's Iceland. Strangely green.
Yeah.
Still cold, still freaking freezing,
It's still fucking freezing,
but not icy.
not permafrost.
But no Greenland.
So messed up. They really ruined those.
To be fair, it
Right.
worked really well when
So-
I did it.
You know
No
why they did
invasions.
that though, right?
Yeah, no invasions.
Advertising.
No, they yeah.
No, it
They
was
told
to
everybody, hey, look, Greenland, go there, so that they could have Iceland to themselves. Because no one wanted to go there. That's literally why Vikings named it that way.
I did not know that, but that's.
I thought it was like an
I
actual.
have a lot of Icelandic friends,
invasion
and
kind-
so does
not invasion,
Oscar.
like there was a. Shit. Anyway,
So
back to the real.
you hear an anime
history.
noise as Olgan once again slides away.
Olga was actually gonna
Where does the
be able to
slide
help
whistle
us
come
go further towards the mountains, not into the mountains, but able to have one of the others be able to guide us towards it, because I believe it's the easiest way to get further south the quickest.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Olgan,
And what are we doing about our horses?
well, did we pay for those horses?
You did.
You paid. For
You
the horse.
did.
Money's gone. It's
They did offer to buy the horses off us, even though John was not in that conversation.
Oh, wow, you've got exceptional hearing. When did you start referring to yourself in the third person?
Shortly after my brain damage from the bull.
Ah,
So
I
Olgan,
see. That was first.
we can't use those horses like you said before. Happy to sell them if you're able to buy them. What would be able to take for those?
Hey, don't forget about the cart.
Yeah,
Carts
you
in the
paid.
thing. They can.
You
they can
paid
take the cart.
20 gold piece.
I paid 40.
40 for both.
We'll
You
pay you
paid
fairly.
20 each horse.
Oh yeah.
We'll pay you fairly.
Look, I'm
We
not
can
too-
always retrieve them ourselves, and we can give you the gold on the spot, and maybe for a slight discount.
You may not be able to retrieve them.
I tell you what. Just take the horses. If you find them there, just take them.
If they'll go with you, you can
Oh,
take them.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I
We should
forgot
have set
about
up
that.
like a password system or something like that.
You're very generous.
Didn't
Don't
know I
worry
was
about it.
going to be
Think nothing of
giving
it.
up my horse.
I'm sure you're.
Well, the
more
horses
than
know
well
Leah,
equipped to
so...
actually take the horses. And I
I
can
was
see.
thinking that if you want the horses, you'll have to get Leah to approach them.
Noted.
We didn't see any other horses, obviously, beyond that day. We just saw the one horse with Leia. Did they
You
have
haven't
their own
seen their
horses?
horses,
Yeah.
so they said
have
he
them-
mentioned earlier that they left their horses elsewhere.
So, I was, so yeah. So
but
Are we
you've
being
seen those
robbed?
horses.
robbed. But like, look,
I
it
mean,
looks like
it's
honestly with
It's not a robbing if you say you can have them if you want.
yeah.
your fellow rangers could probably use them. There's a long track down there, and honestly, I didn't see any other horses. So please take them. Take them. You're still recovering anyway. So
You're very generous.
And
We
this is
appreciate
where
that.
we find out if he is honest and says they have other horses.
Well,
they do,
you
they
well and
can-
truly missed that part of the conversation to make a roll at least. So
But yes, we would definitely need a guide towards towards further into the mountains.
looking to head into the mountains.
I believe so.
I can do that. Well, Leah can do that.
Leah's gonna need to talk to the horse.
But Leah's gonna need to talk.
Well, our other scout,
Looks a lot like Leah.
our other scout can do it as well. Leah and
Leah too.
Leia.
Leah.
Koodle.
I'm sorry, that's a great name.
Yep.
Koodle.
Leah
the
needs
way you
to
took
talk
Hey,
to the
hey,
horses
maybe don't piss off
because
our.
That's
Silkus.
Josh, not Silkus.
Silkus, maybe don't piss off our guide.
She's my
Pick. This is Josh. No, just no
Leah
accent.
needs to talk to the horses because they will recognize her. I very politely asked them to not leave without us.
okay. Koodle can
If
go
they are
with
still
you
there,
as much as I
you
don't
are
want to
welcome.
leave her. Yeah, though if Leah left her horse with them, they'll probably still be there. But Koodle can go. I don't want to force her to do that on her own, so you have to talk to her. But yeah, she'll be able to guide you through there. She's our other scout. Well, our main scout.
Great. Well, what are we waiting for? I think we'd better just go as soon as possible.
And
Yeah.
talk to Koodle as soon as possible.
Talk to Koodle. That name, I'm sorry. That's a great name.
Silkus, you're pretty good at talking to people. Maybe you should go talk to Koodle.
Sure, no problem. I'll walk up to Koodle. That's Josh. I can't. You're someone else. Someone else be
the pain-
Silkus.
No.
Someone
The
else.
pain is real.
Sorry, Mr.
Someone
She
Christmas.
looks up at you and
Hello, Koodle. I'm
Hello,
my name is Silkus. Nice to meet you. I'm a
what's
Inuit,
your
if you
name?
didn't know.
I believe you're Koodle. Am I
Here,
right?
have 10 gold pieces.
That's correct.
I was just talking to Olgan. We're looking at needing to go further into the mountains. Not going. We don't. Well, obviously, we're not going to be able to have you be able to go through the mountains, but we need someone to guide us toward further in. Would you be able to help us with that?
Of course, you would volunteer me, brother.
Well,
Look, I can guide you. Leah would be better suited to the task around the mountains areas, but I can do it.
Leah has to talk to a horse.
He's got our own.
I'm not going to question.
It sounds so funny, but
Also, though, in repayment for the service, we have the extra horses for your clan to take.
I'm sure you've already spoken.
Yes.
Look, I'll do it. That's fine.
Thank you so much.
My brother and I don't really separate very often. We like to stick together, but I can do it. Just this once.
Great. Oh, that's
You did a
absolutely
great service for us, so we can only repay it in kind. Where are you headed?
Heading down south.
Straight south, or
so
Pretty
what
much.
you
Track.
were saying before, we had to go to Yom.
Yong. We're going to Yong.
Yong? So you're
Yes.
going through the mountains,
That will be the case.
specifically through that part of the mountains. Okay.
Can I insight on that tone of voice that he said?
Archibald was
That.
just going to straight up ask about that tone of voice and also the word.
He could
That.
be sleepy.
You can roll perception. Roll insight.
Shelob.
You can ask if you want.
What do you mean by that
Dirty
part of the
20.
mountains?
30-20. Seems less than enthused.
What seems to be the problem with those mountains?
Well,
What should we be looking out for, I should say?
there is the main path through around the north. You'd have to take it all the way up near Arkenhau. That is very heavily guarded, and most people don't have access through that area unless they have official business, usually on authority of the Climbing Empire or any of the Yoln authorities as well. Alternatively, the passageway through the mountains that we know of to get you to Yoln specifically would some unsavory folk around that area. I'm absolutely not going with you. I know. I don't want to go in there. I will get you close.
Wouldn't want anyone to go if they refuse.
But I would warn you to be very careful using that passageway. People use it. It's livable, but there are some unsavory folk.
So just a lot of bandits there.
Not bandits. On the other side, the opposite end of the passageway is controlled by a smuggler's haven. It's a den for criminals. It's not a kill on sight kind of place, but it's definitely not somewhere you want to spend too long in, especially someone like yourself.
Give me 1 second, sorry, I just need to do something quickly.
Uh-huh.
And it is this.
Make a phone call.
Yeah, I want to make a
Phone a
lifeline.
friend.
Yeah, friend.
Daddy, help!
I'm so sorry, guys. I laugh loud. No, give me 1 second. I just need to double check on something.
Is this backstory related?
You don't know. You
I
don't
do
know.
actually. I know
Until
everything.
3, 2, 1. What? Do you have any idea what would be if there's any guilds to do with
Guilds.
the smugglers? Anyone like that?
I'm
from
sure
the-
there's something. I don't know specifics.
Don't know specifics.
It's one of the biggest reasons we don't use these areas is because of the kinds of people that use these mountain paths.
Fair enough.
This is their main, it's a criminal's main path through the mountains, and in fact, the rider that rode through that did, well, what he did to us, probably headed through that path as well.
So there's a chance there's probably an opening then. Probably wiped them out and we were able to get through. That sounds like a positive spin to it.
I doubt our luck will be
Optimism.
that good.
No, optimism is always good to have.
I ran out of optimism 15 years ago.
Oh dear. That's another time
I'm
for a
going
different
to,
discussion.
as
Like
it says that, I'm
funny.
going to stare. I'm going to stare at John very
I
close up
am
in
like
his face.
35.
I was just like, I think like 15 years
Yeah.
ago, I was like 2 years old.
I'm now suspicious of John because of his just last statement, and I'm just up in his face looking at him.
Tyrell's just shot up to you and is now this far.
Picture like the animated bit where she's from a distance and just whoop, straight up.
Yep.
I'm inspecting his face because it seems like he's down,
All right, so
not as perky as he is usually after tea.
Your sad drunk just revealed itself.
Oh no.
I'm gonna like sniff him and do all the usual things you would do if somebody was sick.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
rolling insight check
yeah,
real
but
quick,
he
and
is-
we'll
If someone does
and we'll
sick.
complete this while you do that.
Thermometer under the tongue.
Hey, Sulfur. I think I think you're needed over there.
So you're saying that there's so there's two ways. There's no other option.
Not that we know of. I'm sure there are other options, but
You
not that
go
we.
over the peaks of the mountains.
Is there any
You can certainly
smaller
try.
villages on the way? Like anyone living around there?
No, small villages aren't really a thing that occurs on Dalandar. It's too dangerous to be in small numbers. Freda
Yeah,
Town's
fair.
roughly the smallest thing you're gonna get.
Small numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4,
7,000.
Okay,
No,
we're good.
that's too big.
Alright, so we got guards from Camellia, and then we have possible smuggler's den that was probably raided by pestilence. Alright, well,
Interesting
Any-
name for him, but I guess it fits.
yeah, you're telling me.
17, by the way.
17. Yeah, you suspect something. You saw him drink the tea, so you're a bit confused as to how, but you suspect something.
Do you have any idea what kind of creatures would roam around the mountains? Something
Just gonna
similar
start
to
pecking.
Watch out for
Yeah.
anything that petrifies, like the thing we've
Yeah,
just
you're gonna
encountered.
find the
Gorgons.
flask in my jacket inside pocket.
Cockatrices are pretty prevalent. The gorgons I believe they only roam these
I'm gonna
areas.
object
I don't
if you
believe
try
they
to pull
exist
it
anywhere
out,
else
though.
in the world, as far as I've heard.
I'm
Okay.
gonna try to pull it out.
That's fantastic news.
Where is my... I had a note.
Did you ruin my
somewhere.
tea, John?
We should do this one.
It's
at a
mainly the
time.
petrification that's the problem in these mountains.
Oh no,
the
this is the
wyverns.
perfect. John,
The further south you get, the more wyverns you're going to encounter. But they mainly stick to the very peaks of the mountains and hunt out in the plains. They don't bother the people of Yoln. So once you're in between the ranges, you should be fairly safe from the wyverns.
Okay.
It's mainly people that are the problem.
Alright. Okay. Never fear the fall, never fear the fall, never fear the fall, never fear the fall. Alright, yeah, that's great. So basically all we gotta do is just keep our heads down, be able to possibly just check whether or not the smuggler's den is fortified or not, and just be careful. So honestly, there could be worse areas. Honestly, it's probably the best too. That case, what I think we should get going as soon as possible. Then, no time to lose, no time to spare.
as they're wrapping this
Yeah.
up, I'm literally yelling in John's face, trying to grab the flask out of his jacket pocket and say, "Did you ruin my tea?"
I'm going to cast
No, you're not.
reduce on
I
the
wanna watch
flask.
this.
It's
Hey, that rhymed.
inside my pocket. You can't.
I've
Reduce
tried
the
to pull
pocket.
it out and he's not letting me.
I want to
It's a battle of wills.
I'm
right
just like,
now.
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. It's like, not even the bluff check, just the no.
No.
Sulfur
If you
and I are
can't
enjoying the
appreciate
show.
it, I'll stop making
I was talking
it.
to I'm talking to Kuddle, and I turn around and see this. I'm like,
It takes the edge off.
I
Okay.
think we'll be fine. That'll be
If you
alright.
can't appreciate it, I'll stop making it.
Well, if anything, you probably pass better criminals than you would officials. So
That's right. I don't really want to go through the official way.
I can't handle going.
When are you happy to leave? We'll go on. We'll
no,
go when
we
you're
can leave
good, right?
immediately. I'm happy to.
Perfect. Goes well with my timing.
Yes.
I love how
Yes,
he's
it
just ignoring that we're in a squabble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like this. Like, great. Let's go.
And Cuddle's noticed this.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
just eye contact with you,
I want to cast.
letting this argument
I
happen.
want to
just
cast
like
sleep. We'll wait for 20. Wait a minute.
on both of them.
Yeah,
like that's gonna hit
You'd
me
have to
first.
roll pretty high. To
Good point.
Like you'd need to get like
I need
over
a fifth
100
level.
before it started to hit me because it would hit every single other person here first.
Sleep. Everyone falls asleep.
That's what I was thinking. Like, because he rolled what, a 26 on that last one?
Yeah, some pretty bad rolls there though.
My health is generally at least 10 over that.
Brag about it.
Alright, yeah, brag about it, jeez. we got the same.
Anyway, to wrap up this
Sometimes.
argument, I'm stating that I won't make it anymore if he can't appreciate it, and then I'm gonna turn around and literally whack him with my braid as I turn around.
Alright, Mom, Dad, stop it.
You got
Hey,
whipped
John.
across the
Better
face.
get going.
Yeah.
I think you fucked up.
Tyrell is storming out of the
Great, she's ahead of us then. That's perfect. Let's get going then. John, you good?
I'm
Go
caught
home.
on Cyril. I'm caught on Sulfur's collar.
Ragdoll just.
Cool.
She doesn't have a collar. She
Great
only wore
contact.
one.
That's what makes
She
it
was wearing a
funnier.
belt.
Koodle
Oh.
first heads over to Olgun and they exchange words. You don't hear what they say, but they do this kind of forearm grasp and what you
Last minute
recognize to
arm
be like an orcish farewell, essentially. And then she moves around to each of the other group members from her group. And they say their farewells, and she eventually
I'll go to.
is ready.
I'll look at Olgan and I'll do the official kind of salute to rangers from Cameria.
Okay.
So I don't know. Josh do not know that one, but I'm just gonna go.
I get the point.
Yes.
Get going.
It was just such a
Do I see
toodles
him do that?
gesture.
That is absolutely now canon as the official Ranger salute for Chimera.
Love it.
It's like a ba la la la.
Yeah. You
No, but do I see him do that?
Now you're storming.
you're storming out.
You storm
Yeah, but do I see him do it as I'm going?
No.
Because he's
No.
having this conversation on the side, right?
This was after though. This
This
after
is
you
after
stormed
this.
out.
So,
Okay, well then my opinion of you doesn't change.
I'm curious about this.
you do this. He kind of gives you a quizzical look. Doesn't seem to recognize
That's
the
totally
motion.
I turn around without even really properly taking notice, and I'm just like, okay, and continue.
Okay. So, you all gather yourselves. Koodle
It takes 10 minutes for me.
is waiting just out in the open for you all to come out. Tariel, you're obviously the first out there, even before her, and the rest of you follow.
Yep.
Koodle gets her bearings, looks down the mountain range, kind of takes note of exactly where they are, where she needs to go, and then begins on her way with you all in tow. And with that, we are going to end the session here.
Nice.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
It was a good session. It went over time again, which was not to my intention, but there was some good conversation happening there at the end, so
That's
I didn't want to
great.
interrupt that.
You're in trouble.
You are in the doghouse right now.
No, that's for
No, he's not. I wouldn't allow him inside my house. Are you kidding?
Thank you everyone who watched along, and if you enjoy, feel free to follow us here on Twitch. You can catch our VODs at any time over on our YouTube channel, which is down there in the panels below. Head over to our Discord. You can talk to us there, ask questions. I know we had some questions asked earlier of the crew here, and we'd be happy to answer them. Just pose them there in the Discord. We'll talk to you. You can also follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/maxoutofficial.
And also our individual Twitter handles are down the bottom there.
Exactly right there for me. Glenn's is over there. Josh's is over there.
Check them out for varying levels of D&D related content.
Yep, and
Check-
varying
check
levels
out-
of content as well.
Check out Michael's because he finds the weirdest old tweets and retweets them.
Seriously funny. It really is. It's roulette though. If you put notifications on for Michael, you're going to get about 50% of language you don't understand, and then the rest of it's going to be absolute hilarity from 2014.
Yeah.
Truly is great. But
2014, what a fine vintage.
Very good year.
yes, exactly right. But that is going to do us. So thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, take it easy.
And breezy.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
That is the wrong one. Oh my god. That was the wrong.
Get better.